Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen?
Keeler's always in the know.
It makes me want to call him
And tell him where to go.
And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
I don't know if you've seen the forecast. I'm trying to talk about something positive after last night's Mets game.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen the forecast, but
I have.
upper 50s today with sunshine. Tomorrow, 60s and sunshine. The weekend, upper 60s and sunshine. And it looks like 70 Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
That is true.
So that's not bad for what seemingly was headed in a very cold direction.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be nice weather right on through the following week.
All right, we have a bunch to get into, and including this this jaw-dropping story that you released yesterday on Katie Iello, that once again there seems to be a question of where she lives, and now there seems to be an affidavit, a court proceeding of some sort where there was testimony that said, oh, yeah, she lives here and has to live. See, what's happening is she's living by two rulers, if you will.
Right.
There's the city of Utica and there's the Herkimer School District. And according to the documents, although we are not able to get her to speak with us, somewhere along the line, she just no longer would talk to us after the alleyway thing and all.
Yeah.
I don't know. Apparently, there's no election, so we're not needed.
And because we're mean, we were mean to her about the alley.
No, nobody's being mean. It's not you. You look really good. It's the alleyway that looks like you know what.
Yeah.
I wish I could say that word. I don't normally use it, but it's fitting, considering
It's
everything that's
absolutely
smeared
disgusting.
all over the ground there.
And it's burned and it's charred
Anyway,
now and it's awful.
But beyond that, now here we are all over again dealing with this residency issue. And where does she live? And there's paperwork that was shared with us, documents from court that we believe and we've been told is real, although that's as far as we've been able to authenticate it. But there's stuff that even testimony from her mother saying, well, yeah, she's lived here and this is how the kids are able to go to school here. So this is her legal primary residence. Now, if she still holds an apartment in Utica,
some believe,
and don't stay there, is that according to the rules, according to the charter? Because I don't think there's any New York State election law. You realize that Brandon Williams doesn't live in the 22nd Congressional District. He still doesn't. He said he was going to move into it, but there's nothing that requires him to move into the 22nd. It's possible that Claudia Tenney still considers New Hartford her primary residence, but has a place in the district that she's in out near Oswego. So I don't know that there's any necessary. There's actually a law, but there may very well be something in the city charter that, and I believe that's the case, that would require her to live in the city in order to be a council person.
we will speak to Common Council President Rocco Jusi this morning. He's on the program. He's one of the few that will agree to come on and talk to us about this. Because, of course, Katie's defense is, well, this is political. Well, I guess it kind of is, considering you're a politician and you've run for office, and now
So she did respond. She did respond to you
at the meeting last night.
Okay.
I'm hearing that was what she was blaming it on, is that this is all political. Well, listen, if you're not supposed to, if you're supposed to declare a primary residence in the city of Utica, and you're not, then people should answer. You should have to answer to that.
Does it say primary? I mean, that's going to be the whole thing. There's got to be an attorney that someone from the city that could.
Well, it just depends because you're hearing one thing. You're hearing that, and again, this is it's difficult because there's a lot of people that won't come on the record as far as giving their identity of their responses or their comments. But some believe that the judge is Judge Garamone, who's the judge that sits in on all the council meetings, had kind of taken Katie's side, but they're alleging that he's, in the bag for Miola, so he's going to support Katie and defend her, the past 4 years.
What I would ask is there ever been a situation, and this is what we were hearing quite some time ago, where her problem wasn't residency. Her problem was lying under oath, saying that her primary residency was in Utica when it wasn't. And that would be, if I'm somebody in Utica and I'm listening to this, it's like, you got to be kidding me. To me, though, you got to be kidding me is the fact that we can't do something with that alleyway that looks so terrible because everybody's pride is hurt by this. You're not going to, everything you do is not going to be perfect. It is not some horrible commentary or conclusion on Katie Iello that alleyway looks terrible, or it's dangerous, or it is an eyesore, or it doesn't fit the neighborhood. It doesn't fit the style of the neighborhood. That is not a end all conclusion on Katie Iello that she's bad or she's foolish or stupid or whatever. It just is. Why can't we all just say, you know what? I agree. I swung the bat and I missed. We tried. Let's do something different.
Well, part of the problem is
everybody's pride gets in the way, and it's like you're being mean to me. No, nobody's being mean to you. It's stupid. It's dumb.
Yeah.
I hate to use those primary words, but it's stupid, it's dumb, it's ridiculous.
Part of the problem is, though,
and it's stupid politics to sit there and say, I think it looks, from my aspect, from the way I'm looking, it looks really wonderful. No, it doesn't. And it doesn't clean well. It's a problem, and it's a magnet for homeless people and people who want to just walk in there and defecate and urinate. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, people say it's a great place to have a barbecue, and there was a cart barbecue there the other day, and now there's a charred wall on one of the buildings.
So the whole building didn't come down.
But it's beyond that. It's that there should be some accountability, because now you can't change it. And I've kind of had this conversation with Galimi when there was the incident of somebody who was injured and they had to put up that sign. They spent $450,000 on that alleyway, which was $200,000 more than the allotted ARPA money for that district's project.
Blows my mind.
And then now they can't do anything about it because it's too expensive.
I don't know if you saw, I want to switch gears. I don't know if you saw the interview with Kamala Harris and Brett Baer. He was tough. He grilled her hard. And to be fair, I do wish that the same interview, he would get the same interview. He would give the same interview with Trump, and maybe he would. But it was a pretty tough interview. And overall, it was contentious at times. And many feel that she handled it. I guess if you don't, if you're in Trump's corner, you feel she was terrible, just the worst ever. It's the worst interview I've ever seen. But she seemed to handle the interview pretty well. This is a stark contrast to where she was when she wasn't giving any interviews. So I don't know what happened. Why all of a sudden? Well, it's probably polling, and you're looking yourself in the mirror saying, "I got to win." And if I don't do this, I'm probably not going to. Ryan Schmelz from Fox News Radio on the line right now. Ryan, good morning. I thought that Brett Baer walked out of that really well. That was a really solid interview, and it seems like she walked away well bruised, but she walked away pretty well.
Yeah, and the reality is she hadn't been tested like this. She's
by anybody.
Questions. I want to give Bill Whitaker some credit from 60 Minutes. He did, I think, a good job of asking really good questions of the vice president. I know there's some accusations about how the network has edited that interview. But, I thought Bill's questions to her were very strong. But I think the one big difference between Bill Whitaker and some other interviews she's done is that, according to Brett, when he went into this interview, and this is the big difference between his interview with Trump and his interview with Harris. When he did his last interview with Trump, he was given probably a lot of time because the interview was a very long interview.
Mm-hmm.
This one, from what we understand, is that when Brett went into that interview, it was in the 5 o'clock hour. He was told 25 to 30 minutes, and they wanted to get this out before special report airs at 6 o'clock. Well, then when they get to the location where they're having an interview, then they're told by the Harris's team that it's going to be a 20-minute interview. So they're already cutting it down. Harris doesn't walk into the interview room until like 5:15. So they were kind of, in many ways, it seems like icing this a little bit.
Yeah.
Like they iced the kicker in football, like Brett was referencing. And the next thing you know, after just a couple of minutes, Brett's getting these waving hands saying, we got to wrap up. So Brett, in many ways, was kind of, forced to hustle a little bit here and wanted to ask more questions. And, I've been through this before, too. When,
yeah, we all have.
They kind of try to move you along quickly. And, when she started delving into really try to start doing talking points right off the top, Brett just didn't seem like he was going to have it.
Yeah, and that's fair. And you could see he didn't want the hyperbole. All right, there's an answer. Let's move on to the next one, the next question, because I have a lot to ask and a lot to get to. Ultimately, though, it was a test that I would think that I think both, nobody can walk away and say that he was unfair to her, and you really can't walk away and say she couldn't answer the questions. So I don't know that it changes, it moves the needle at all. But clearly they got to just let her go. If they want to win this thing, they got to let her go, and she's got to be able to answer these questions.
Yeah, and I think that someone who gave me a good point the other day kind of compared the Harris campaign, and they said they don't want to fall. The Harris campaign needs to try to not fall into this trap, which is kind of the trap that Ron DeSantis may have fell into when he was running for president, where, you watch Ron DeSantis in some of these interviews, especially the ones where he gets really pushed and he gets asked tough questions and gets challenged. That's when sometimes he turns on his best political chops, when he gets, his back against the wall. And, there's maybe a question that when he was on the campaign trail, he delved into talking points way much and kind of presented a little bit of a robotic version of himself. And they said, well, what if Harris falls into that trap where she's not answering questions that she might want to answer, or she's not putting herself in a position where she's getting challenged a lot? And is that going to hurt her? So I think these are all questions. And, obviously we still got a whole month left to go, and Harris will certainly have more opportunities. She's doing a campaign blitz. She's been asked tough questions now on Fox. I thought Charlemagne the God asked for some tough questions.
Yeah.
A little bit of a friendlier environment, but he also is somebody who, will ask good follow-ups and will, be tough on people even if he does like them.
Well, and, listen, let's just talk for a second here about Brett Baer, journalist, highly respected by his peers and anybody that knows journalism. He's just a good reporter, and I feel that he's very fair. So if they were looking for somebody, I understand. I don't want to go on with Hannity. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But Brett Baer he's going to ask you tough questions, and isn't that what we as the American people should be demanding out of all of the candidates? So I'm with you on it. I thought it was a really good interview.
Yeah, and I think, just like we've been seeing, there certainly are parts of that where the Harris campaign felt that they did come off very strong. And there were moments when, she probably had a good opportunity to get some substance out there or give us a clear answer on where she stands on a certain issue. And she ultimately chose not to do that. I think there were some moments like where she said that she very much is not going to be a continuation of the Biden presidency. I don't know if we know truly what that looks like still, because she didn't really, and she hasn't really answered the questions about how she's going to differentiate herself from him. But then also, I think she was pressed on Joe Biden's moral decline, and she didn't want to go into that, route, and instead try to focus and pivot on Donald Trump. Those are things that she does on the campaign trail quite a lot, and I don't think that was too much of a shock to see it happen again.
I also don't think it's a shock. Listen, she's the vice president of a sitting president who is in a very rough position right now. I would not expect her to come out and say, yeah, he's declined. It's been pretty rough. The guy's the current president of the United States. So I'm not surprised there that she avoids that. And the other part is avoiding those questions that want her to say, yeah, what happened in Afghanistan was terrible. That won't happen on my watch. I mean, you're just not going to hear that stuff out of a sitting vice president. But I wish you did, but I don't expect to hear that.
Yeah. And that was the first question that Brett really went to. He decided to go on this topic of remain in Mexico, which is a policy that a lot of Republicans believe would have prevented a significant number of illegal immigrants from getting into this country, especially ones that have a violent crime record before they even get here.
Yeah.
And he brought up, Rachel Morin as well as Lake and Riley. And, Brett asked if she owed them an apology. She did say that it was sorry that happened to them in one instance, but she also, I don't think gave us a clear answer that she regrets remain in Mexico or anything, because she kind of wanted to talk about an immigration bill that the Democrats backed when they first got into office. And Brett kept trying to bring up the fact that immigration bill, which was introduced by Democrats when they had the House, the Senate, and the White House, was never brought up for a vote in either the House or the Senate.
Yeah. It is what is expensive. This was a big event in this campaign, because what she needs are those Republicans who are really not happy about voting for Trump and are looking for an excuse to be able to vote for her, a Democrat, but her in particular. So we'll see where it all goes.
And she's also trying to win over Democrats who might not be happy with the administration, but are probably not going to vote for Donald Trump. I've been saying this a lot, which is
just don't vote.
Like we talk about the people who are independents or the undecided voter and this, that, and the other, but I think there's a big voting block on both sides that don't like either candidate, are not going to vote for the other party, but are probably might stay home.
Yeah.
Both sides, I think, are really trying to reach out to that voter and get them to come out.
I spoke with somebody yesterday who was saying, yeah, I'm leaning towards Trump, but I really wish there was a third party candidate that I could vote for. And, I thought Kennedy was going to be that guy, and that didn't work out. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. What does that mean? That means I might not even vote. So this is there are a lot of factors in this. It's going to be very interesting. So. And soon, Ryan, I don't know what we'll talk about because it will be over. I say that sarcastically. Ryan Schmelz, as always, appreciate it, and thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You too, Bill. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. I'm assuming you saw it and you were glued to it.
I did not watch it. I heard the tail end of it because I was out driving around, so I listened to the interview on the radio.
Mike brings up a very solid point here. Harris,
I watched it, Bill.
You did?
Yes,
I did. What was your take on it, Davey?
She dodged a lot of his questions.
You did?
Yeah.
So she did not impress you?
No, she didn't.
Okay.
Especially the talk about when, what's the difference when Brett Baer asked, what's the difference between your presidency and Biden?
Well, I got to say that was a big different answer, because the last time she was asked that question, just like a week and a half ago.
Yeah, twice. I wouldn't do a thing different.
She wouldn't do anything differently, and now that answer is different. So there's no specifics over what that really means.
But she kept on talking about how Trump can't beat a presidency because she's heard from Mark Milley, the defense secretary, Mike Pence. She kept on bringing up Trump's not this, Trump can't do that. Just answer the questions, Kamala.
Okay. Maybe you should do the next interview.
No.
I think it would be interesting.
Well, it's interesting. That is a sentiment I think that a lot of people feel is what Davey's saying, but
no doubt about it. Harris not going to be able to ice Joe. This is Mike's comment. Harris is not going to be able to ice Joe Rogan if she goes on there, which rumor is that's going to happen. I don't know what she'd be thinking there.
Yeah, because he's like, if you're my guest, you're going to be on for at least 2 hours,
2 or 3 hours,
and I'm not going to just let you say the same 5 things over and over again.
Correct. Yeah. Nonetheless, here's the thing: you're a Trump lover. You're never going to like whatever she does.
Probably not. No.
And I think that if you're a Trump hater, you're never going to like anything that he says. So there's this small group of people that this is targeted at. And the question will be, where will they all, this small group that may not vote, that may not, that aren't sure, I guess, at this point. I don't even know how I almost feel like the undecided are people who are sitting there saying, I don't like either way. I don't like either one. And I just don't know. My indecision is, will I vote or won't I vote? And if I do vote, who will I vote for?
I think what it's going to come down to
that's a pretty big, I think that's a pretty large, small group.
Yeah, I think what it's going to come down to for those people is, what is that most important issue to you as a voter? I spoke to somebody yesterday who I was surprised, because I had thought that this person was vehemently anti-Trump, but this person said to me, I voted for Trump in 2016, did not in 2020, but I have, a lot of expenses that have accumulated, and to me, I just don't see how I can keep going if it continues on this path. Yeah. And they're voting for Trump. Again, there's going to be different people say, I voted for Trump in 2020, but with all the stuff that came out and this, that, and the other, I don't know that I could vote for him again. So I think it just depends on if you're more apt to think about the abortion issue as something that's important to you, or if the economy is something you're more concerned about. That's really what's going to direct those people.
If the abortion issue, it's that, your mind's already made up.
Exactly.
It's over with.
Yeah.
But it's that group in the middle that you're talking about. And there are I think a lot of those Republicans who didn't vote, who voted for Biden in 2020, and are sitting there saying, I can't do this anymore. I think that there's a good sized number of those people who may be plugging their nose and casting their vote. And she has to try to win those people over, and not doing interviews with people like Brett Baer, or being very, putting all of these restrictions and obstacles in the way during that interview is not going to help her any, I think, with those people. All right, we have a ton more. As Andrew said, Rocco Jusi will be on this morning from the Common Council. And what is the rule? I'd like to just get to the bottom of it. What is the rule?
So,
and if they're not going to go after her because she allegedly lied under oath, this probably, I think, is probably going to go nowhere. And why are we even talking about it if it's going to go nowhere? So, we'll speak with the Common Council president. Do you have something to add to that?
Well, I'm just going to say, in the story, you can go to WIBX950.com. You can see the documents of the copies of the documents and the affidavits that show that, for schooling purposes, that she's in Herkimer County. Other people have attested to it. But the significance of this issue is that Section 2.022 of the City of Utica Charter states very clearly, no person shall be eligible for any elected city office unless at the time of election the person is a resident of the city. Whenever any city officer ceases to be a resident of the city, or any district officer shall cease to be a resident of the district for which elected, the office shall thereby become vacant, except that a council member who has served at least 1 year of the term for which elected shall continue in office for the remainder of the term.
So I'm going to tell you right now, I read that and say she's going to be fine as long as she had an apartment in Utica. I think she would be fine. It doesn't say anywhere primary residence.
Right. That's going to probably be the key.
I mean,
key element.
and
unless there's some other law or rule or section of the charter.
I think it's vague.
That's the problem.
It's vague, and I don't think that I feel like there's nowhere they can go on this. So, and ultimately, let's not forget the people elected her. Whether people like her or not, she was elected by the people. So that's a pretty big thing to remove someone from office after they have been elected by the people. So I feel like that, if that is the statute, if that's the law within the city of Utica, or the rule, whatever it is,
The section of the charter.
I feel like I kind of feel right. Do you agree?
Based on that, if it said primary residence, very difficult.
And here's the other thing. This is clearly a classic example of somebody who wants their kids to go to a certain school, and we see it all the time.
Yeah.
Somebody who lives in Utica and they want their kids to go to Whitesboro or go to New Hartford. So they drive to grandma's house every day and go in the house at 7 a.m. The bus comes at 7:15. The kids come out as if they're living there. Then when it's discovered that they are not, sometimes they're told, listen, you're either going to have to take your kids out of school and go to wherever it is that you live, or you're going to have to pay tuition. And it sounds like that became an issue in Herkimer because some of those documents that you have show her giving testimony that she specifically, under the letter of the law, she is an official primary resident of Herkimer. She had to say that in order for her kids to be able to go to school.
And there are other affidavits from people that say that she is seen there, she parks her car there, that she is actively living there, that is her residence where she stays most of the time, according to those affidavits from witnesses of neighbors and things like that.
But again, if she has a residence in Utica, I think she's within the boundaries of the charter. Now, maybe she does. Maybe she's saying, "I have a business." Where are you living? Upstairs at the business?
Well, and do you own that business? Do you rent it? Yeah,
right.
You sleep on the floor of the cafe,
right?
But you could.
I guess that's possible. I guess it's possible. So we'll speak with Rocco Jusi later on this morning on that, and it'll be kind of on the interesting side. Let's talk about the Mets last night. Oh, Lord, it was bad. And I expected it to get better at some point. Listen, this is what I feared. These Dodgers are offensively trouble. But what I didn't expect is all of a sudden the Mets to come home. You're in the best position you have been.
Your momentum's flying
so
from
long.
winning
You have
LA.
momentum. You won in LA. You come in, and you cannot allow them to shut you down offensively like that.
No, you can't. And your pitching, the pitching wasn't great.
The pitching. First of all, the Mets have a problem. They have strong starters. They have an iffy relief, an iffy bullpen, and the Dodgers, on the other hand, you got to get to their starters because their bullpen is really difficult. So, but you just can't come in there and be shut out.
You got to hope now. You've got 3 games. You got 3 games in New York, right? I think that's how
two
the
more
championship
games.
Two more games.
2. So there are 2 more games in New York.
So if you can win out,
you got to win them both,
and then you can win one in LA. It's good.
Yeah.
But I think that this series, the 2 teams are matched enough where it's going to go to 7.
I'm going to tell you, either the Mets are going to lose badly, or this is going 7 games.
Yeah.
And I could see a scenario with this team, and where the Mets end up having to win Game 7 and actually win 2 games in a row in order to win the World Series. And that's what they had to do in '86. They had to win Saturday night. They did. They then had to win it all in Game 7 on Sunday night. It rained out and moved to Monday, and the Mets fell behind early on and then came back to win Game 7. I feel like, but that's the World Series. You're going to be all petered out by the time you get to the point where you're playing in the World Series. This is going to be to win this, it's going to be a really rough series. I'm
going to say this as a Yankees fan.
Or the Mets just get knocked out.
I am very concerned with having to play either of these 2 teams. If we can't, we being the Yankees, if we can't have our offense to really start to perform and ramp up, I think our pitching's doing very well, but if the offense can't get it together and start to score some more runs. Now, again, we scored 5 and 6, but a lot of that's been on errors, wild pitches, passed balls, really not organically offensive runs. If we can't do that against the Dodgers or the Mets, we're going to be in trouble.
We'll see where all this goes. Here, how about a woman in New Jersey, in Montclair, New Jersey, posted a video of herself tearing down a banner string of Israeli flags outside a restaurant. When the staff walks out to confront her, she rants about Israel, only to find out that those aren't Israeli flags. Those were Greek flags.
Oh,
what a moron. First of all, a moron for ever even tearing down Israeli flags.
Alone.
But just the fact that you had it wrong, to me,
that's awesome.
Is just classic, and it is awesome. Here's audio.
I'm taking this down. What are they gonna do? They can't do nothing. I don't stand for this. There's genocide. I don't support it. This is not okay.
This is Greeky.
Who's this?
This is Greeky.
What?
Greeky.
Oh no, it's Israel. My bad.
My bad.
Oh, I thought it was
No,
Israel.
you're bad all the way around.
No, you're a moron.
Let's not lose sight of this. How do I stop these things? I don't know. I touched something. I get excited, and God forbid you touch this board, everything goes off. I mean, all of a sudden you're playing sports. Stop it! Stop it!
And the lady who pulled down the flags went 0-1 today as she pulled down the Greek flag instead of the Israeli
Let's not
flag.
lose sight. It is wrong for this moron to be pulling down Israeli flags. But how apropos if she gets it completely wrong. And then has to end up by saying, my bad.
Look like a moron.
An idiot. The World Championship of Pumpkins is out.
Oh, really? Okay.
This is something a little lighthearted. A Minnesota farmer ended up winning the Safeway World Championship Pumpkin Weigh-Off with a pumpkin that weighed 2,471 pounds. Even named it Rudy. Here is the winning weight being announced at the competition.
All right, are you guys ready? Woo! Travis Ginger of Minnesota, here you go. 2471. 2471. Whoa!
2471, that's 2,471.
That's a big pumpkin.
Pounds. That's a big pumpkin. And a Florida man is accused of trying to steal a generator. A lot of this stuff going on in Florida. Mm-hmm. Stealing a generator that was powering a stoplight that was most likely damaged because of Hurricane Milton. Here's the moment that Soyel Zapata Dai was detained by police officers.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good. That's good.
Good. Yeah, can you step out for us?
Probably rather not. I'm fixing dinner right now. What's going on? What's going on? What? You're just being detained real quick, buddy, okay?
Some people might have witnessed you doing some things that we shouldn't have done, okay?
There's a generator on 674 that I saw that had no lock on it and it had no name on it, so someone set it out.
So I just took it. Yeah, somebody's giving away a free generator.
Yeah, I mean, it was sitting out there. It didn't seem like it was anybody's. No one had their name on it.
What a great excuse. This big screen TV, it was just sitting in the aisle on the floor at Best Buy. I just thought I would, I didn't know it belonged to anybody, so I took it.
So I took it, and I don't think there's anything wrong there. I mean, you can just hear in his voice that there's something wrong there, right?
Yeah.
You just kind of hear it.
Definitely.
All right, next hour, we'll get in. Also, John Piseck is on from the Herkimer County IDA. Housing survey. If you've seen this in the news, there is a housing survey for residents that's available to take advantage of and get involved with, and he'll explain why they need this information. And he'll make his free money question of the day. We're looking at, some real money. Davey's lost his microphone, so I can't ask him. Quick break now. News is next.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Need new tires? Nokian Tires is celebrating 90 years of legendary Hackapalito winter tires with a consumer rebate. Now through October 31st. When you buy 4 select winter, all-season, and all-weather tires, you can save up to $80 by mail on a MasterCard prepaid card. Offer expires October 31st, 2024. Experience the thrill of savings on every mile at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Visit their stores and meet their team of experts. Or schedule your appointment online at tallmanstire.com.
Imagine this. You're at your daughter's soccer game. She makes a shot and suddenly goes down in a lot of pain. It's her ankle. As a parent, you know the faster she gets to the right people, the sooner she'll be on her way to recovery. And treating this pain is an emergency. The orthopedic care she needs is just minutes away at Community Memorial. If it's real pain, head to our new emergency room in Hamilton. We have the shortest wait times in the area. We can get pain under control and then quickly get you into one of our world-class specialists at Community Memorial Center for Orthopedics. Whether it's a new injury or long-term joint pain, we also have orthopedic clinics on weekdays in Hamilton and every Wednesday in New Hartford with walk-ins welcome. Imagine a healthcare system that's dedicated to getting you to some of the best orthopedic specialists in the area in the shortest time possible. That's Community Memorial Center for Orthopedics. Visit orthoemergency.com.
Our nation is at a crossroads. In Albany, John Mannion and Kathy Hochul support radical policies like cashless bail, which releases violent criminals back into our communities. Worse, John Mannion and Kathy Hochul support defunding the police, taking officers and equipment off of the streets when we need them the most. Now, Mannion's running for Congress, threatening to take Hochul's terrible ideas to Washington, D.C. There's a better choice. Navy veteran Brandon Williams. A former nuclear submarine officer, Brandon Williams has a new mission, defending central New York from the Hochul-Mannion agenda. Unlike John Mannion, Brandon Williams knows how to keep our families safe. In Congress, he's secured millions for local law enforcement, giving cops the tools they need to keep violent criminals behind bars. On or before November 5th, vote for Navy veteran Brandon Williams for Congress.
I'm Brandon Williams, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Brandon for NY 22.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But if you could get both, why not? Especially when it comes to health care, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge. But it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. That's because...
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. W295EI. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. A Town Square media station.
The road to the White House runs through TV. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
My presidency will not be a continuation of Joe Biden's presidency.
Vice President Harris in an interview with Fox's Brett Baer.
You've been vice president for 3.5 years. So what are you turning the page from?
From the last decade in which we have been burdened with the kind of rhetoric coming from Donald Trump that has been designed and implemented to divide our country.
The pressed on record illegal immigration. The vice president said the system has been broken for years.
And from day one, then, we have done a number of things, including to address our asylum system and put more resources.
Now, in a Fox News poll, Harris is now trailing the former president by 2 points. A month ago, the vice president led Trump by 2, and Fox's Brooke Singman reports.
New Fox News polls also show voters prefer former President Donald Trump to handle this immigration issue over Harris by 15 points. Meanwhile, Trump slammed the Biden-Harris administration's border policies at a Univision town hall.
We're going to turn it around. But we want people to come in, but we don't want murderers.
At that Trump town hall in Miami, the former president also called January 6, 2021 a day of love when he addressed a protest just before the Capitol riots.
They asked me to speak. I went and I spoke, and I used the term peacefully and patriotically.
The U.S. has hit the Houthi militants who've been attacking ships in and around the Red Sea for months.
Long-range B-2 stealth bombers have hit 5 underground storage locations in Yemen. They were being used by the Houthis, an Iran-backed rebel group that controls large parts of the country. A senior U.S. official tells Fox these airstrikes were a response to the Houthis' year-long destabilizing behavior.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. More Americans are getting student loan debt wiped away. This morning, the Biden administration says they've topped 1 million borrowers with debts forgiven, despite the Supreme Court blocking the president's much bigger plan. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, if you're in the market for a rifle, a shotgun, or a revolver, you definitely want to go with the best in the business. And as far as I'm concerned, that's only one place, Henry Repeating Arms. You're going to be amazed by the quality craftsmanship, the buttery smooth action. It makes them a pleasure to shoot. Every one of my Henrys accurate right out of the box. They've all been reliable ever since. Now, the best way to learn about Henry's 200 models, just go to their website. It's one word, henryusa.com. You'll get a free catalog. They'll send you free decals, a list of dealers where you are, and they have a great newsletter as well, and they showcase their made-in-America firearms. Now, Henry's are backed by a lifetime warranty, 100% satisfaction, made in America, not made at all. That simple. And if you have questions, you can call their award-winning customer service department. Speak with an expert that will help you. Make sure you go to henryusa.com, get your free catalog, free decals, a list of dealers where you are. henryusa.com, a great American company.
A former Mexican ally in the U.S. war on drugs, sentenced to 38 years in an American prison.
Genaro Garcia Luna was once known as the architect of Mexico's battle against the drug cartels. But he was convicted last year by a New York jury of taking millions of dollars in bribes to protect the Sinaloa cartel that he was supposedly combating. American prosecutors charged that in return for all that money, he gave the cartels intel about investigations against them, as well as safe passage of over 2 million pounds of drugs into the U.S. Jill Nato, Fox News.
A former elected official in Nevada also behind bars.
Former Clark County Public Administrator Robert Tellis sentenced to 28 years in prison for the 2022 fatal stabbing of 69-year-old Las Vegas Review-Journal investigative reporter Jeff Gehrman.
He showed absolutely no remorse, no acceptance of responsibility.
Clark County District Attorney Steve Wolfson. Prosecutors say Gehrman wrote critical articles about Tellis's conduct as an elected official, finding Tellis's DNA under the victim's fingernails. Tellis, who pled not guilty, testifying he was framed. His attorney says he plans to appeal. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed, up a bit for the NASDAQ, down a little for the Dow. The day after the Dow surged to yet another record high. In the baseball playoffs, a blowout win for Los Angeles.
The Dodgers' bats came alive in Game 3 of the National League Championship Series. The Dodgers defeated the Mets 8-0 Wednesday night at Citi Field, taking a 2-1 lead in the best-of-7 series. New York has now been held scoreless in 2 of the 3 games in the series, and they'll try and rebound Thursday night in Game 4.
That's Fox's Joe Morgan. That game will be after New York's other team, the Yankees, playing Cleveland. Game 3 of the American League Championship Series. The Yankees won the first 2 against the Guardians. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. Right now, it is 33 degrees under partly cloudy skies. We're moving up a little bit. Going to be into the mid to upper 50s today. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by the new Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Syracuse University has suspended a fraternity after multiple offensive videos were posted online. The videos were posted on X and revealed students being abused by Phi Kappa Psi members. The post says the alleged abuse happened at the University of Mississippi, but SU leaders say evidence points to it taking place on campus. Chancellor Kent Severud put out a statement saying he's disgusted by the actions in the videos, which showed people being vomited on and taped to a pole. A Utica man has been indicted and arrested for allegedly threatening a judge. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office announced yesterday that 40-year-old Jeremy Ibanez is in custody after being apprehended in the city of Utica. Officials say on July 29th, a deputy assigned to the Law Enforcement Division Uniform Patrol Unit took a harassment complaint regarding an incident that occurred in the Whitestown Town Court on July 22nd of this year. The complaint was regarding the above-referenced inmate, Ibanez. Upon initial investigation, the case was turned over to the Oneida County Sheriff's Criminal Investigation Unit. The investigation found that Ibanez used vulgar language and racial slurs and threatened to cause harm to the presiding judge in the town of Whitestown. The case was turned over to a grand jury where they returned an indictment on a count of making a terroristic threat, which is a Class D felony. Ibanez was arrested and is being held in Oneida County Jail in lieu of $20,000 cash bail. 2 elderly people remain in critical condition after a fire ripped through a home in Salina. When crews got to the scene on Glendale Avenue late Tuesday night, the house was already fully engulfed in smoke and flames. A 90-year-old woman and 95-year-old man were found inside the residence and taken to Upstate University Hospital. Authorities say the blaze was sparked by a heater. No other injuries were reported. AAA is now releasing data showing the number of animal-related crashes in Oneida County. The travel agency says last year alone there were more than 1,300 such incidents. Most deer-related accidents happened between the months of October and December, especially during sunset. AAA says that with deer and their population rapidly rising, it's important for drivers to pay attention while behind the wheel. They should also follow posted speed limits and make sure to buckle up. And Jimmy Carter has achieved his goal of living long enough to cast his ballot for the 2024 election. The Carter Center confirmed the news on Wednesday. His grandson previously said he would vote for Vice President Harris and doesn't believe former President Trump should be in the White House again. Carter turned 100 years old on October 1st, making him the oldest former president in U.S. history. Early voting began in his home state of Georgia on Tuesday. It is 7:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by City Suburban. Call City Suburban today at 315-853-3899 or log on to citysuburban.com for a free quote today. Your weather forecast for today calls for sunny skies eventually with a high in the mid to upper 50s. We'll see more frost overnight, clear skies, and a low around freezing, 32. Then tomorrow, some frost in the morning, then sunny skies the rest of the day. We'll see a high in the low 60s. The weekend looking really nice with sunny skies and highs in the low to upper 60s. Then a really nice start to the week as Monday and Tuesday we'll see temperatures in the low 70s. Right now, however, 33 degrees under mostly clear skies. It is 7:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. The Dodgers shut down the Mets to take a 2-1 lead in the NLCS. LA shut out New York 8-0 in Game 3 at Citi Field. Walker Buehler started the game for the Dodgers and struck out 6 batters over 4 scoreless innings. Michael Kopech was credited with the win after pitching a scoreless inning of relief. Kike Hernandez went deep with a 2-run homer. Shohei Ohtani slugged a 3-run jack, and Max Muncy hit a solo shot to lead LA to victory. The Dodgers hope to take a commanding lead when they visit the Mets for Game 4 tonight, rather. Meanwhile, the ALCS is shifting from the Empire State to the Buckeye State when the Cleveland Guardians will host the Yankees in Game 3 tonight at Progressive Field. Davey, that game at 5:30.
5:08.
5:08. Even earlier.
Yes, 5:08. 5:10 actually.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. Then I don't have to stay up late.
Right, we don't have to stay up late, and my fiance is making a nice chili for the chilly temperatures. We're going to have some chili and Yankees. Gotta love it. 2 rookie quarterbacks take center stage when Spencer Rattler and the New Orleans Saints host Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos on Thursday Night Football. Rattler is starting just the second game of his career after taking over for an injured Derek Carr. The 150th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft completed 22 of his 40 pass attempts for 243 yards, a touchdown and 2 interceptions in his debut. New Orleans is third in the NFC South at 2-4. Broncos head coach Sean Payton is making his first trip back to New Orleans since leaving the Saints after the 2021 season. Denver is third in the AFC West at 3-3. The NCAA updating the 12 men on the field rule for football following the ending of the Oregon-Ohio State game last Saturday. Oregon head coach Dan Lanning admitted to purposefully having 12 players on the field late in the game. What that did was it allowed the Ducks to give up 5 yards, but 4 seconds also ran off the clock. Time expired on the next play, allowing the Ducks to come away with a win. The new rule will allow the offense to choose if it wants the time on the clock when the ball was snapped to be restored. The 5-yard penalty will remain. And the Liberty are 1 win away from their first ever WNBA championship. The team fought back from a 15-point deficit to take down the Lynx 80-77 in Game 3 of the finals from Target Center. Brianna Stewart led all scorers with 30 points and grabbed 11 rebounds to go with 4 blocks. Sabrina Ionescu nailed a late three-pointer to give her side a 5-point lead and finished with 13 points. The Lynx trail the series 2-1 and hope to avoid elimination in Game 4 Friday night from Minneapolis. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM, News Time 712. Coming up, we've got a busy hour of First News with Keeler in the morning as we'll talk to John Piseck from the Herkimer County IDA, and we'll get some clarification from Common Council President Rocco Jusi in regard to this latest residency controversy involving Councilwoman
Katie Iello. All that and more coming up on First News with Keeler in the morning, plus your chance at Habaika's free money question of the day. That's next as well on WIBX.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
This station is brought to you by GPO and their Shred Week, October 19th to 25th at all GPO locations. There will be tailgating, snacks, and free secure paper shredding. Find more info at gpofcu.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Have you been thinking about buying a new hot tub or spa? Now is the time. Liverpool Pool and Spa has a large selection of American-made spas and hot tubs. Enjoy year-round for both relaxation and hydrotherapy. Fast delivery and installation available, as well as local service and support long after the sale. Financing options also available for qualified buyers. Stop into the Rome location today on 1501 East Dominic Street in Rome, or visit liverpoolpoolandspa.com for more information. Don't just dream it, live it.
Cybersecurity Awareness Month is still going strong, and LifeLock has a message about phishing. The scams cyber criminals use to trick victims into allowing access to their devices so they can steal your personal information. Being aware of potential phishing scams is one way to help protect your personal information. LifeLock alerts you to more uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft issues that arise. Start protecting your identity with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use my first name, Clay, as your promo code. Terms apply.
Adirondack Home Furniture wants you to fall in love with your home again. With their timeless design and incredible craftsmanship, their furniture is the type of furniture that gets passed down from generation to generation. For years, Adirondack Home Furniture has been providing quality and comfort to Central New York. From American-made pieces and new Amish pieces to top designers, Adirondack Home Furniture has what you want. Whether you're looking to redo your living room, dining room, bedroom, kids' rooms, or just need some pieces to get your home ready for the holidays, Adirondack Home Furniture has that perfect piece. With a fully stocked showroom and the best prices of the season, you need to stop in today. Adirondack Home Furniture has non-commissioned salespeople, which means you enjoy a relaxing, low-pressure shopping experience. They also pride themselves on their unmatched customer service and attention to detail. Stop into Adirondack Home Furniture today and get your home ready for the holidays. Riverside Center in North Utica, or go to AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
Sue and Dan wanted a bed they could make as soft or as firm on each side as they wanted so they could get back in the same bed and be comfortable. They went to the big national brand company and they looked at it, they said they liked it, but they heard my commercials and they came to my store. They picked out the Opulence King Flex Head. They loved the fact that ours had 45 individual settings on side. They loved our 25-year industry-leading warranty, and they had never seen a reversible cover, cool for summer, warm for winter. Sue liked her side soft. She was an 18. We elevated her head and feet slightly and put the massage on low. Dan liked his side firm. He had a bad back. We put it on 38. Elevated his head a little higher, his feet a little higher. He liked the massage on medium. They loved our price, and they loved the fact that they didn't have to put a nickel down. They qualified and signed up for the 5 years, no interest, no money down. It was affordable, and there was no interest. Then a $750 prepaid Visa card was on the way. Come on in today and try our smart bed by Instant Comfort locations at MattressExpressNY.com.
Hi, everyone. If you or someone you know were diagnosed with lung cancer or mesothelioma, listen up, because you could be entitled to significant compensation. We have legal professionals standing by right now to take your call, and they'll tell you if you qualify for a cash settlement. Call 800-570-0200. That's 800-570-0200. Call now and find out how much money you could potentially get.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Our liver works hard every day to remove toxins from processed foods and unclean air and water. But too many toxins can overwhelm the liver. Low energy, brain fog, headaches, bloating, and skin irritation are all telltale signs that we need to act. Active Liver from New Nordic is a natural supplement that helps your liver effectively eliminate toxins on a daily basis.
Within a week of taking Active Liver, I was feeling better, and now I have more energy than I've had in years.
You can find Active Liver online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com or in stores at your local CVS or Meijer grocery.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
I get it, Andrew. I get it.
Couple more weeks, Bill.
I get it. Chuck Lester, calm yourself, for God's sakes, Chuck.
What's he saying? What's he saying?
Chuck, I've lost his message, but I'll get it in a second.
I think he texts us both here.
Chuck is, Bill.
You want me to read it?
Are you delusional? I think he said that.
No.
Are you being sarcastic?
He said, Bill, you are really joking and bringing sarcasm into the show with your views on the interview. Most who watched it thought Trump was in office the last 4 years as she repeatedly blamed Trump for everything.
All I'm saying is this. Do you expect her to come out and be honest? Think about that just for a moment.
Most politicians
we're talking about politics here.
Yeah.
What she would probably like to say, I would think, is, Biden has been horrible. I mean, he can barely walk. You know, I was in his office the other day. I said, Joe. And he was there sleeping right at the desk.
He didn't know his name.
He didn't even know who he was. Who are you? He didn't know who I was. I mean, that's not going to happen. So you're going to avoid it. And, you know, I do believe, though, that the more there, and this isn't even at some point. We're just days away here. We're 20 days away from the election. And, this cannot just be Donald Trump is evil. You can't vote for him. You have to vote for me. It must be, here's why. Yes, he's evil, but here's why you should vote for me.
Right. You got to get some substance.
And that part, I agree with you, Chuck, is something that I'm not sure we're going to see. They may be polling to the point where they think they can get away with it. But at some point, you got to say, not just I will be an independent administration, which was what she said. It will be different than Joe Biden. Well, what does that mean? And at some point, you're going to have to sit down with somebody and say, here's what that means. Almost like if she could just pull out a Ross Perot poster. You probably don't remember this, but he'd come out with, all right, so, here's what we're going to do. And he'd bring out his poster and he'd point to everything. And
you know what she should do? She's
not going to do that, though. She's just going to continue to... They're doing their polling, thinking they got to do just enough to win, but I agree. You got to come out and say what am I going to do differently, versus he's bad. You got to vote for me.
You know how she fixes that? You know how she says my presidency will be different than Joe Biden's? She gets on a bicycle and does a full ride without falling down. That is how she will.
Okay, I like it.
To do it.
I
can ride my bike without falling.
I like it. I think that might work.
Although sometimes, listen, I've fallen off I've done it recently. I clip into my pedals. You don't clip out fast enough. Boom, you're down.
I was almost buying a bike the other day, and it was like a 20 speed. And you can go up hills with that.
Fast. I can't go this fast.
So, I mean, that means you're pedaling like 90 miles an hour, and you're just going up the hill.
Yeah.
No, that's probably not for me. I'm not going to fall on, but listen, forget bicycle. That was back then. It's like, this guy can't even ride a bike. Now he's got to walk from point A to point B.
Right. I can walk. She could say, I can walk up the stairs of Air Force One.
Yeah. See, look at me. I can skip. I'm doing cartwheels in the Rose Garden. Richard, prove Katie ever lived in Utica. Never has lived in Utica. Never, ever. She should resign. But remember, she is the 5th Democrat in the council.
Interesting take there, Richard.
I think that is a logical take. I'm okay with that. Tell Andrew to worry about Cleveland first before thinking of playing the Mets or the Dodgers.
Okay, I'm not. Listen, we do have a comfortable lead.
I think you just walk away and say that's
Richard,
fair.
you're right.
That's fair.
You're right, Richard. I should not count the chickens.
This is a teachable moment for you.
Listen, and that just goes to show I'm not stubborn. I'll learn.
Yes.
I'll admit when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Or Richard's right.
Yeah.
Very rarely.
Rarely will he admit it, but he will. Damn it. Mr. Nice Guy. Good morning, everybody. Tom. She also made an appearance on the Howard Stern show. I did not know that.
Yeah. It was a love fest.
I'm sure. And, that now all of it, because Stern really kind of supported Trump for a while and then didn't.
Well, he was a Trump fan before he ran for office.
Yes.
Because I think there was, as Stern would say, is Trump asked him to speak at the RNC, and he said, no, I'm voting for Hillary, and then
he was friendly with him until he became the candidate, and then Trump Stern endorsed Hillary.
Mm-hmm.
And recently Stern just went off on why people can't vote for Trump, why you shouldn't vote for Trump. And
that he hates all his voters.
And now they've all gone after him. Stern has become less relevant than he ever was. Would we all agree with that? Well,
Matt and Holland Patton, the sticker that says I voted and how people post that on social media? I am getting one that says I stayed home. They are both twits. That's Matt and Holland Patton.
I think there are a lot of Matts out there.
And Rick in Utica, recall would be an interesting idea. I think he's referring to the Common Council of KDIL.
I was going to say it's a little late for Biden. Sorry. But I think that is going nowhere. Remember the ratio of Democrats to Republicans on the council. John Piseck, stand by. I got you in a second. Wayne, we got to go through this quickly.
I know we've changed up the games a little bit.
You're tight for time. This is our NFL Pick'em contest. Wayne is one of the contestants.
All right, Wayne, we got 4 games. 4 games.
Are you ready, Wayne?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
All right. First
tonight,
the Broncos and Saints.
Trumpsters versus the
the Kamalas.
The Kamalas.
I'll go Denver.
Okay. All right. Denver is number 1. He's not screwing around. Game number 2 is
Lions Vikings. We've swapped out we've flexed.
I'm going to go with the Lions.
Right. Wayne's not. He's shut up and give me the games. The Chiefs 49ers Super Bowl rematch.
I'm going with the Chiefs. I'll stay with Mahomes until he's drowned.
I think that's going to be the downfall. And then Ravens Bucks on Monday night.
I'm going to go with Tampa Bay to beat them down this time. I stayed with the Ravens all along, but I'm going with Tampa and Baker Mayfield.
All righty.
All right, Wayne. Good stuff, man.
Hey, and Stern is gone woke. Bleh.
Listen,
Later.
It's very funny that when you were a long time, fan of the lesbian stuff and all the crazy.
Well, he
things
was fun. I mean, just the whack pack and everything like that.
But that happens to people. I mean, I don't do the stuff that I used to do. But if I had $1 billion or $500 million contract, I might talk about cats all morning long.
You don't care at all.
Who cares? I'm going to talk about my wife's cats.
He works 3 days a week. He takes the summer off.
7 to 9.
He's broadcasting from his basement.
He feels like it. He'll go till 11.
Yeah.
Or maybe get done early.
Yeah. He's broadcasting from home.
It's a different world.
Yeah.
Broadcasting from home because of COVID.
Still.
I mean, when you live in that world, it's you're a member of the elite, and you can do whatever you want. No one's going to say no to you. Just like John Piseck,
nobody tells him no.
An elite statesman in Herkimer County. No one says no to Piseck. Good morning, John. Good morning, John Piseck.
Good morning. First off, I think Harris should tell the truth. I'm sorry, Bill.
Listen, I didn't say she shouldn't tell the truth. I'm saying politicians don't tell the truth what they really think. I mean, I don't think I'm going out on a limb on that.
Jimmy Bono, he's a politician. He always tells the truth.
Well,
he's a rare breed. We all know that.
He is not a politician. He's a public servant. There's a big difference. There's a big difference.
So we got past her. I want an invite for chili tonight, by the way.
Oh yeah, Hannah's making chili before the Yankee game.
Nice.
So. I'll save you some.
That'll be really good.
And about And about our survey, if Miss Iello lives in Herkimer County, I'd love for her to fill it out.
That's a great line. Actually, let us know if she does. She might.
Please. That would
She
be
might be
evidence.
filling that out. We'll get into that issue in a little while. Let's start with. So, what's the survey? What is it for? What are you looking for here?
Well, thanks for having me on again, guys, too. I really appreciate it. The Housing and Community Renewal puts out a grant every year that you can go after different things. We decided to go after a housing grant in conjunction with the county. We want to look to see in some of our less populated areas what we could do as far as housing. We see with Micron coming in, the explosion we're having, Oneida County having our whole region in new development. We need additional housing. So we're taking a look at mobile home parks, modular home parks, and not necessarily tiny homes, but smaller home communities. So we all know we need housing. So the best thing we thought was, look, in these outlining areas where we could do well water, we have electricity, they can still use propane in some of them, septic systems. How could we increase our population, keep it at one level, make it easier for people to move into, and just continue to grow our region? And we thought this was the best way to do it.
What are you targeting? Are you targeting the entire county? Are there any areas that are key to you? The villages? What are you looking at?
Well, I think the villages already have, their properties are pretty much taken up. We're looking at more like along Route 20, maybe 28 South, 28 North, places that they could develop, mobile home parks. At our Schuyler Business Park, we're putting in a new gas station there by Buell Fuel, and we did a study there, and close to that is about 800 mobile homes. So we can see that in these outlining areas, we could bring in additional people. They'll be living in brand new one-level properties, and maybe that would also free up some of the homes in these other communities for people just starting out. So we knew we needed to look at something, and the standard housing study is, at the end, you need housing. Well, we all know that. Everybody knows we need housing, but what should we focus on? And this is what we looked at doing.
All right. So are we talking mobile homes or modular homes?
Both. We've been approached recently in the past few months by developers that want to do both modular, mobile, and even some smaller house communities. I hate to use the word tiny home, but they are smaller than the conventional home. And they build these communities for them, and upward mobile people live in them, or people of retirement age go into them. Less maintenance. You're able to work still. You're still in a good community. We're close to everything. So we see this as an opportunity, once again, to grow our county and our region.
Okay.
Any other big projects on the horizon? Any big developers coming into certain areas? We were talking with Mayor Stevens the other day about a possible tenant for or purchaser for Remington.
Are you guys playing any role in the potential Remington buyer?
We always play a role in development. That's the good thing about IDAs throughout the state. We're the ones that are able to provide them with the benefits. We do see some activity going on there, which we believe is great. How it ends up, it's still a long road, a long process. If you drove by Remington today, you still see a few cars there, probably about 20. They're still removing all of the old equipment and really cleaning out the facility, which we think is very much a positive. But we do see development. We all know that we have the property available across the street from Tractor Supply, Russell Park, that's actively being marketed today. The town of Frankfort's been very supportive. And once again, we purchased some property in Schuyler out near the Four Corners. The county legislature and Jim Wallace have been very helpful with that. And we see active development happening there. Our Schuyler Business Park, where we are putting the gas station in, all the property has been spoken for, so we're very happy that that's happened in such a short period of time. We just continue to see development. We see things because of Micron. We see things because of our brownfields, and there's some great opportunity there on both sides.
Where have you played any role in this Herkimer library issue? The village.
No, I have not. Other than the fact that I sit on the LPC for our Herkimer Village DRI.
Okay.
So the college came forth with a project. Today you really have to look at how these different projects will fit into your downtown community. Bill, you grew up here like I did. We remember what Main Street in Herkimer was like. You know, Santa would walk down Main Street. There was a hobby shop, all kinds of other things, the camera shop, liquor stores, you know, clothing stores, everything. We know we're not going to have it look like that again, but we know we can do some development there. We also received another grant for the Village of Herkimer downtown area, the same thing called a BOA, a Brownfield Opportunity Area Assessment Grant, that allows us to get into the properties and look at them for any kind of environmental issues. Plus, it's going to help with planning. But it doesn't force an owner to do anything different. It's just going to give them some options. And this will also give us other grant opportunity. We have to continue to do that. Look at the people that left our community when we were younger, Bill. I mean, we used to hang out at the Green Street. There was packed Main Street. There were so many things going on. A lot of people that left here became successful. Let's try to get them back and do some things downtown.
Yeah, I mean, it's and it's not just Herkimer. I mean, Ilion is struggling. Obviously, the loss of Remington has been gradual. It's been a gradual decline, but it's really taken its toll on the village.
Oh, I think so. In other communities, Little Falls, you know, we in Frankfurt, everybody's doing what we can, and we try to get as many opportunities, as many people to come here as possible. I think we've been very good with that over the past 6 years since I've been involved with the IDA, and I think we'll continue to do that. We have an excellent team with the county. We have an excellent staff at the IDA, and a lot of support from the individual municipalities, Schuyler, Frankfurt, Herkimer, Little Falls, Mohawk. Everybody's on board to see growth right now.
All right. Okay, interesting stuff. So take the survey. That's what. Go ahead.
We would truly like that. Go to our website. We've put it out there everywhere. We did a mass mailing on it as well, or you know, online. So we really want to see what people are looking at. Please take the time to fill it out. We're not focusing on really one market or one type of housing, whether it's high, you know, workforce, low income, regular workforce housing. We're focusing on these different areas where we think that we can do some development, which will attract other types of development there. Yeah. So I appreciate you having me on as well, because we got to get the word out about it. And Bill, make sure your parents fill out that survey.
All right, fill it out. All right, good stuff. Thank you, John.
All right, thank you, guys. Everybody have a good day.
All right, John, be good.
John Piseck with the Herkimer IDA. And, you know, somebody's saying, mobile homes, are you kidding? The reality
they are
is
valuable.
There's a value there, and also the modular has a great value. And some of these parks, listen, I know there are a few of them out there that are just horrible. And it probably should be, it's a wonder people are still living in some of these. But there are some of these mobile parks that are amazing.
Yeah, they are.
And people have a great deal of pride in their property, and it's a very nice little community that they live in. So there is opportunity there. Yeah. Got a break. Davey?
I currently live in a mobile home.
You currently live in, are you in a park?
Yes.
Yeah. And you're there with Mom?
Yes, and I mow a couple of the people's lawns in the park. So
nice.
Every day. And
people
take care. David takes pride in his own and other.
People take care of their properties.
People's lawns.
All of that stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And is it a mobile home as in trailer or a modular mobile home? Like a ranch.
Yeah, like a ranch.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Okay, Davey, there you go. Fill out that survey. Go to the IDA's website for the details. All right, this morning, Davey, you're picking Hobica's dollar amount here this morning on this Thursday, and the dollar amount is $250.
Whoa!
You want to take a shot at winning $250? We have it for you right now. Caller number
9.
It's from the Hobica law firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobica, at 315-724-1600. Caller 9 right now. We'll do it next. After that, the whole residency issue with Katie Iello. The story's up on our website at WIBX950.com. You can read all about it. Rocco Jusi is the Utica Common Council president. We'll speak with him next on WIBX.
Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Fit Body Bootcamp. It's October. That means it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And if you know me, I love to give back to our community. Are you a local business owner? If so, my team and I would love to challenge you to burpees for boobies. All you have to do is contact us for more information, and we can do burpees together. This year, we are donating every single penny to Making Strides of Utica. Want to nominate your friends to a challenge? Simply donate to nominate and help us reach our goal. Together, we can make a difference in the fight against breast cancer.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. Their experienced team is here to offer personalized advice for all your tire needs. Now through October 31st, purchase 4 eligible Bridgestone or Firestone tires and receive up to $170 in rebates. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals is ready to serve you. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Get the best tires for your vehicle at unbeatable prices guaranteed.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
Our nation is at a crossroads. In Albany, John Mannion and Kathy Hochul support radical policies like cashless bail, which releases violent criminals back into our communities. Worse, John Mannion and Kathy Hochul support defunding the police, taking officers and equipment off of the streets when we need them the most. Now, Mannion's running for Congress, threatening to take Hochul's terrible ideas to Washington, D.C. There's a better choice. Navy veteran Brandon Williams. A former nuclear submarine officer, Brandon Williams has a new mission, defending central New York from the Hochul-Mannion agenda. Unlike John Mannion, Brandon Williams knows how to keep our families safe. In Congress, he's secured millions for local law enforcement, giving cops the tools they need to keep violent criminals behind bars. On or before November 5th, vote for Navy veteran Brandon Williams for Congress.
I'm Brandon Williams, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Brandon for NY 22.
Cybersecurity Awareness Month is still going strong, and LifeLock has a message about phishing. The scams cyber criminals use to trick victims into allowing access to their devices so they can steal your personal information. Being aware of potential phishing scams is one way to help protect your personal information. LifeLock alerts you to more uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft issues that arise. Start protecting your identity with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use my first name, Clay, as your promo code. Terms apply.
Have you been thinking about buying a new hot tub or spa? Now is the time. Liverpool Pool and Spa has a large selection of American-made spas and hot tubs. Enjoy year-round for both relaxation and hydrotherapy. Fast delivery and installation available, as well as local service and support long after the sale. Financing options also available for qualified buyers. Stop into the Rome location today on 1501 East Dominic Street in Rome, or visit liverpoolpoolandspa.com for more information. Don't just dream it, live it.
This station is brought to you by GPO and their Shred Week, October 19th to 25th at all GPO locations. There will be tailgating, snacks, and free secure paper shredding. Find more info at gpofcu.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Every morning at this time, we give someone the opportunity to win money. Sponsored exclusively by the Hobeika Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobeika. Why can you play this music and you can't play other music? You keep talking about being dinged on YouTube. When I say dinged, it's a copyright infringement. We because we're on YouTube, apparently you can't play copyrighted music, or they'll shut you right down. They'll shut it right off. And the reason is because even though this music sounds like familiar to you, it's all music that is done license free, and it's made to sound like something you might know.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like for you to be in your mind, say, "Oh, I know that song."
Oh, I know that song. They're going to get
XYZ.
dinged. They're going to get dinged.
They're going to get dinged.
No, not true. Anyway, from the Hobeika Law Firm, they give you a chance to win money each day. Joseph and Andrew Hobeika for all your legal needs at 315-724-1600. The Hobeika Law Firm. And on the line right now is Mark in Westmoreland. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Bill. Good morning, guys. What's going on?
Well, we're working. We're doing a radio show.
Just here at work.
Yeah, I've running a little late this morning, but I got in close to on time. And I got to tell you, Mark, I ran into people this morning that it must be wonderful. I would love to live the world that some of these people live, where it doesn't matter if I get there in 20 minutes or in an hour. I'm just going to drive along nonchalantly, doing 2 miles an hour and clogging up the highways. That's how I felt this morning. The hell is wrong with these people? Put the pedal to the metal, for God's sakes.
Hurry up!
All right, here's your question. Are you ready to go, Mark?
Yes, sir.
All right. Sorry for all the talk.
No, I don't blame you. It's aggravating.
Yeah, you want to get somewhere, and you got 9 cars in front of you, blocking you in both lanes. It was awful this morning. You would have thought we had ice on the roads. We didn't. Here's your question.
You got to say woosah.
That woosah.
Woosah.
I like that. I don't know what it means, but I'll bet it's not good. Woosah. Okay, here's your question. Here's your question. You have 7 seconds to answer this one. Donna Rice fooled around and fell in love, which cost this candidate his run for the White House. Who are we talking about? Ready, go.
Al Gore.
Is it Al Gore?
Oh.
Donna Rice was caught on a boat with her lover,
John Edwards,
presidential candidate, Gary Hart.
Oh.
In 1987. We were talking about it the other day, and he immediately had to back out of the race. Could you imagine today? And I'm not just talking about Trump, but think about Bill Clinton, what Bill Clinton got caught with. That changed. Bill Clinton changed everything.
They had to keep Bill Clinton away from his cousin.
What's that?
They had to keep Bill Clinton away from his cousin.
Listen, anything that walks. Oh my Lord! All right, we're gonna give you a few things. We have. What do we have, Davey? Just have the food and fun card. It's a $25 gift card from the Comets, over Aquavino, Taylor and the Cook, Babe, Zebs. No Zebs. Sorry, Zebs is out? Yeah, Zebs is out. Any of those, and it's good at the auditorium as well.
We have so many expired Zebs.
Stand by. Davey's going to hook you up, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, have a great day, Mark in Westmoreland. You know what I do miss are those Zeb's chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, they were so good. You like the ones with the walnuts or without? Didn't they have ones with walnuts?
I think they all had walnuts because I would always get I'm a little bit allergic to walnuts.
Oh, really?
But I always get a little scratchiness in my but boy were those cookies really something special. The box of cookies.
The box.
Mark, I'm sorry I disconnected you. Call back. Davey's going to hook you up. Rocco Jusi is on the line right now. He is the Common Council president in Utica, and there's a new controversy. Here we go again.
I was going to say, it's been a while since our latest Common Council controversy.
Rocco, is it a controversy? You tell me.
I'm not sure. I mean, last night, we discussed it in length. It's a hot topic right now. So, the council,
it is a topic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hot topic.
So here, just in a nutshell, if I could, Katie Iello, the question is her residency. It would be required that at the time of the election that she lives in the city of Utica. And there apparently has been testimony, affidavits and all of that were sent to us that claim that she did not or does not live in the city, that her primary residence is in Herkimer. So the question would be, I would ask you, I know the city charter says, and Andrew was reading it, it says that must live in the city. Now, is it possible that
must reside in the city?
Must reside in the city. So What does that mean? Could she have another residence in Herkimer so her kids could go to school in Herkimer, and she has a residence in Utica? What does it really mean?
Yeah, I'm not sure. So, really the council lawyer, Judge Guermon, is kind of like doing the research on it along with Corporation Counsel. From last night, supposedly she has dual residency. So, honestly, I don't have the answers right now. I'm just, gathering all the information and going from there.
Well, let's say it was a complete wrongdoing. She's violating the rules. What could the council do?
I think they would set up a hearing, and then we would have a hearing. Kind of similar, if you remember, the Chief Pileman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Years ago, I think I was on the council when we did that. We had a hearing, and really, I don't think anything came from it. But that's what I think the council would probably do: set up a hearing and go from there.
I think that maybe that was in speaking to other members of the council yesterday, who wish not to be named. I think that was one of the biggest things that they're hoping for, is that it gets to that level so that there can be some clarity, because I'm not sure. I mean, I've never heard it, or if she's ever said it in a public setting, or even if she has to explain to anybody. But somebody wants an explanation as to where she lives, what's her primary residence, or even if there's any relevance to that.
Yes, I agree with you. So,
So Judge Guermon, though, is basically saying there's a lot of nothing here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Judge was looking at everything last night. Corporation Counsel. I know the council do their due diligence in researching everything and gathering all the information. And I think we'll go from there.
Yeah. All right. So really, at this point, it is
other answers, but I really don't.
I understand.
We appreciate you coming on regardless, but I think that's one of the biggest things that needs to be looked into. Is it vague enough, whether it be the charter or some other election law that states, is it vague enough where it doesn't have to be a primary? If the word primary residence was in there, I think this would be a no-brainer based on evidence in that affidavit from that FOIL request. But there is the gray area of primary and secondary residence here.
And last night, and that's Judge Guermon was reading something, and I'm not a lawyer, and I was kind of confused with what he was saying. So so I'm not sure. You're right, exactly. I don't know if it's a dual residency, a primary residency. I don't have all the information, so I really can't speak on it. I'm not a lawyer. I run the meetings, and I'll work with the council, and and they'll make that final decision on what they feel is the right thing to do.
How did Katie Iello respond to this?
I didn't see her news she was on WKTV, but Katie's she's a good council person. She she puts a lot of time and effort. She works really hard. She has a business in Utica. She states that she has another residency in Utica. And I'm not sure if she lives in Herkimer. Supposedly, she signed the affidavit, but
Right, saying, and we all know that what's going on there. You're trying to make sure your kids can go to school where you want them to go to school, and but again, I still think the charter is a bit vague.
The charter says reside.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about you can't live anywhere else. It's got to,
and that's the really big question.
Right.
Right. So,
all right.
Now, would that be something that the council would consider? And I don't know what the mechanism is or how you get to the point of changing the charter to update it. But is that something that the council would be responsible for in looking to amend the charter so that it's more specific?
I really don't. I really don't know. I would probably say, the council to see what powers they have if they can do that. I'm not 100% sure on that.
All right. Well, Rocco, we do appreciate you coming on this morning. Thank you, Rocco Jusi. We appreciate it. And let's do it again, all right?
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Take care.
Have a great day.
All right,
sir. Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can say.
Listen, I got to say this. I appreciate somebody coming on, even if they don't.
Yeah, you were struggling finding anybody willing to talk about it. I think, though, personally, at the end of the day, I don't think this goes anywhere.
If it
I think it's more of a distraction.
I think it's probably something that would have happened the last time this came up, because this is not new. And this is not the first time that this issue or this allegation has come up in regards to Katie Iello's residency.
I
hear she's going to, get a tent and live in the Franklin Square alley.
Yes.
Is where she's going to move.
Well, are they considered residents? And, now the question is, where does she vote?
54.5 Franklin Square is what.
Where is she voting? Is she voting in Utica? Is she voting in Herkimer? Or is she voting in both places?
Does that matter?
As Donald Trump says is going on. Maybe that's it. Maybe she has dual voting privileges. She can vote twice. I'm hearing this was all created by one of the council persons.
I'm telling you right now.
I'm just going to tell you. I think we ought to it's Joe Beatrice. He's been doing this. He's been attacking Katie Iello from the very beginning.
He's got a vendetta.
Joe is going after her.
He got a non-fat creamer in his coffee, and he didn't like that.
He cannot let this drop. That's what I'm hearing.
It's
all over Complete Streets, which he was against.
No, the truth is, the interesting thing is
none
that
of that is true, by the way.
This is very interesting, is that no member of the council foiled this information. They're private citizens that, for whatever reason, have now decided to foil these affidavits.
Who are the private citizens? Is it the person that was running against her, Pally?
I don't know that it was him.
Okay.
I don't know that it was him. It was private citizens who...
Can one foil a foil?
Like foil?
Maybe
who
we should foil the foil. We want to know who foiled.
Who's the foiler? We're going to foil it.
Freedom of information.
Yes.
Okay. I just really do think that this is probably going to end up nowhere, and maybe what they ought to do is change the city charter, and must only live in Utica. Is that what you want to say? You can't have another house. I mean, what if somebody, Melo Testa's got a place in Florida?
Yeah.
Right.
Fran Manfredo messaging in this morning. Good morning, Fran. I believe Becerra lived in Barneveld, and everyone knew it. Frank Becerra.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was some talk about that he didn't live in Utica.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike this morning says, he's got a bunch of them. Can I just do these before I break?
Yeah.
I want to get him in here. I would hate to miss out. Meanwhile, Lance and Lee, why do you always read his and not mine? We read all of yours, Lance. Stop being a baby about this. Name of the boat that Hart was on with Rice was called Monkey Business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, you name the boat that, you've got trouble. The way he's announcing it, it sounds like they're going to have a herring, a red herring.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, where's the rim shot?
And on Katie Iello is the alleyway a taxable property for Katie, and homeless living there. She could live, maybe she lives in the alleyway.
She lives among them.
Anything is possible.
I'd just like to apologize for Mike for going off yesterday. I do owe him an apology, so sorry, Mike.
What are we talking about?
When he made fun of me, and I
don't think he made fun of you.
And I blasted him. So
that
sorry,
sounds so
Mike.
out of the blue. I didn't even know you were talking about.
Mike commenting.
Mike made a comment, and then Davey went after Mike yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So all right, so he had said something about you with dollar bills,
dollar bill,
implication, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, and I went off and took it the wrong way, and I just wanted to apologize. Sorry, Mike.
Okay, so you're apologizing.
Yeah.
All right. Boy, this took a really big turn.
It all started with a 70-year-old woman getting on the pole, hopping on it.
After that turn, I'm a little dizzy. Okay, Davey, good stuff. And Mike says Davey is my pal. So there we go. I do have to break after all of this. I don't know if you've seen the forecast, but I am telling you right now, it's going to be a nice couple of days. This weekend is going to be really nice. Temperatures in the upper 60s with sunshine today, mid-50s. Tomorrow, close to 60 degrees tomorrow. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, up in the upper 60s to low 70s. So we're going to have a nice little stretch of weather to take advantage of here. Pretty nice in upstate New York. Got a break. News coming up next at 8 o'clock.
Cybersecurity Awareness Month is still going strong, and LifeLock has a message about phishing. The scams cyber criminals use to trick victims into allowing access to their devices so they can steal your personal information. Being aware of potential phishing scams is one way to help protect your personal information. LifeLock alerts you to more uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft issues that arise. Start protecting your identity with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use my first name, Clay, as your promo code. Terms apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Hello, Utica. This is Carrie Palaio, Executive Director of the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce. I'm really excited to introduce more fantastic new businesses that have recently become a part of our thriving community. Be sure to support our new businesses and our local economy.
La Bistro Restaurant, 106 Genesee Street, Utica. Grow Brewing Company, 2 Campion Road, New Hartford.
Please join the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce in welcoming these new businesses. Here we grow again.
You'll find no shortage of work to do in a New Holland Workmaster or Boomer compact tractor. Available now at Clinton Tractor. Get 0% financing for 72 months, plus no payments for 90 days, or choose cash back on these 24 to 55 horsepower compact and subcompact tractors. Stop into Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Offer ends soon.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
Hey, right now it's Steve Ponte Mazda. Ricky Z wants you to be all in about award-winning vehicles for over 100 years, racing vehicles, and road vehicles like the CX-90, the CX-9, or whatever, the Mazda. It's a great vehicle. The CX-30 SE model, a new 2024. You could get it for $269 a month on a 36-month lease, or save with 0% or 0.9% APR financing on that or other select 2024 Mazdas. See the dealership for full details. As Rick says, let's make your deal on a new Mazda, where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. And I want to tell you also, if you're thinking about heating your home, it's going to be a long winter, probably. Go to Collis. They'll do a free home energy assessment and help you save money. Call 315-860-1301.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Does he have momentum? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Former President Trump takes the lead in a new Fox News poll for the first time since Vice President Harris took over as the Democratic candidate, 50 to 48%.
Vice President Harris had a 2-point lead a month ago. By significant margins, Trump leads with men and white voters. Harris leads with women and black voters. In other key demographics, Trump leads narrowly with seniors, while Harris has a slight edge with the college-educated.
It's Fox's Gernal Scott. The vice president tells Fox if she's elected, it won't be a continuation of President Biden's policies.
I will bring my life experiences, my professional experiences, and fresh and new ideas.
Telling Brett Baer it's time to turn the page.
If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
She called the former president divisive and dangerous. When asked about record illegal immigration,
we have a broken immigration system that needs to be repaired.
Former President Trump told a Univision town hall in Miami the Biden administration lost control of the border.
We want them to come in, but they have to come in legally. They have to love our country. They have to love you, love our people.
And he touted his record handling the economy.
4 years ago, you had no inflation.
The man arrested over the weekend outside a Trump rally in California with guns in his SUV, Vem Miller, is suing Riverside County,
accusing the sheriff of falsely characterizing his arrest as a thwarted assassination attempt.
No.
Miller says Bianco lied about the passports and created a narrative so the sheriff could look like a hero who saved Trump.
That's Fox's Jill Nato. Miller was released on bail facing misdemeanor charges. Now, also, there's news this morning that the U.S. has gone on the attack in Yemen. B-2 stealth bombers dropped airstrikes targeting underground weapons stored by the Houthis, Iran-backed militants who've been attacking ships around the Red Sea for months. America's listening to Fox News.
If you're looking for a firearm, I just love and recommend highly Henry Repeating Arms. They make 200 models of rifles, shotguns, revolvers, and a wide variety of calibers and finishes. Plus, they have new releases all throughout the year. The best way to learn about Henry Firearms is to get their free catalog and check it out online or at home. Plus, you're going to get 2 free decals and a list of dealers where you live and a great newsletter. Go to henryusa.com, click on their free catalog button. It's in the upper right-hand corner. Henry uses old-world craftsmanship combined with cutting-edge technology to deliver reliability and accuracy that everybody can trust. They're easy to use and maintain. It makes them an excellent choice for personal and property defense, for hunting, for shooting sports, and for beginners. All made in America, or they won't be made at all. Remember, to order their free catalog, get free decals, henryusa.com. That's henryusa.com. Free catalog and decals and a list of dealers where you are. You're going to love this company.
President Biden will leave the White House this hour for a trip to Europe that was postponed last week by Hurricane Milton hitting Florida. One big issue he'll focus on in Germany, continuing to support Ukraine fending off Russia's invasion.
The president announced $425 million in additional air defense systems and armored vehicles ahead of a phone call with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky. Zelensky is updating world leaders on his victory plan that would include an invitation to join NATO.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The Biden administration's also announced the number of student loan borrowers who've had debts wiped out now tops 1 million under the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. On Wall Street, stock futures rising modestly, so the Dow could go up even more the day after another record high close. One Direction fans are mourning the death of one of the group's members, Liam Payne. He was just 31 and fell off a hotel balcony in Argentina. An official in Buenos Aires says he jumped, but that's under investigation. Police had responded to calls of an aggressive man under the influence of something.
The British singer was part of an ensemble that included Harry Styles, Louis Tomlinson, Niall Horan, and Zayn Malik. Together, they became one of the best-selling groups of all time. The group signed with Simon Cowell's record label after they placed third in the UK on the singing competition The X Factor. In 2010, they were propelled to success from social media. The fame came quick, but after 5 albums in 2016, they went on indefinite hiatus. They all went on to successful solo careers. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
In the baseball playoffs.
There's a towering drive down the line. Ohtani's broken through. It is gone.
Shohei Ohtani helped power the Dodgers in an 8-0 win over the Mets in New York on FS1, giving Los Angeles a 2-1 lead in the National League Championship Series that'll resume today. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 8:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Syracuse University has suspended a fraternity after multiple offensive videos were posted online. The videos were posted on X and revealed students being abused by Phi Kappa Psi members. The post says the alleged abuse happened at the University of Mississippi, but SU leadership says evidence points to it taking place on campus. Chancellor Kent Severud put out a statement saying he's disgusted by the actions in the videos, which showed people being vomited on and taped to a pole. A Utica man has been indicted by an Oneida County grand jury on one count of felony making a terroristic threat stemming from an incident in July. According to the Oneida County Sheriff, Rob Mashiel, a deputy took a complaint on July 29th about an incident that happened on July 22nd in the town of Whitestown Court. It is alleged that 40-year-old Jeremy Ibanez used vulgar language, racial slurs, and threatened the presiding judge with physical harm. Following an investigation, Ibanez was indicted by a grand jury and taken into custody on Tuesday. He's being held at Oneida County Jail on $20,000 cash bail. 2 elderly people remain in critical condition after a fire rips through a home in Salina. When crews got to the scene on Glendale Avenue late Tuesday night, the house was already fully engulfed in smoke and flames. A 90-year-old woman and 95-year-old man were found inside the residence and taken to Upstate University Hospital. Authorities say the blaze was sparked by a heater. No other injuries were reported. AAA is now releasing data showing the number of animal-related crashes in Oneida County. The travel agency says last year alone, there were more than 1,300 such incidents. Most deer-related accidents happened between the months of October and December, especially during sunset. AAA says with deer population rapidly rising over the last few years, it's important for drivers to pay attention while behind the wheel. They should also follow posted speed limits and make sure to buckle up. And Academy Award-winning actress Helen Hunt has canceled her upcoming stop in Syracuse. She was supposed to appear October 30th at the On-Center Krause-Heinz Theater to host a screening of the 1996 smash hit disaster film Twister. However, the event has been scrapped due to what's being called a scheduling conflict. Fans who purchased tickets will get a refund. Twister spawned a sequel called Twisters earlier this year that made over $370 million at the box office. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time. 8:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by City Suburban. Call City Suburban today at 315-853-3899 or log on to citysuburban.com for a free quote today. Your weather forecast calling for sunny skies today. We'll see a high in the mid-50s. Some patchy frost overnight with mostly clear skies and a low around freezing. Then tomorrow, some frost in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon. We'll see a high in the low 60s. Right now, it's 35 degrees under mostly clear skies at 8:08. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. The Dodgers shut down the Mets to take a 2-1 lead in the NLCS. Los Angeles shut out New York.
You have to be so aggressive when you talk about it.
I'm trying to give it some emotion.
The Mets fell short. That's what. let's try to find this in a way. Talk about this in a way that's
all right,
less offensive.
I can do it a little bit more sensitive, but I still have to be honest.
Here's how I would say it. The Mets fell short yesterday and then just said blanket. And
well, go on to the next game.
So no need to even get into the score.
I won't talk about the 8-0 loss in Game 3 at Citi Field. Walker Buehler started the game for the Dodgers, struck out 6.
He had a really bad outing his last in San Diego. He was lights out yesterday.
Well, I'm hoping that's what happened with Carlos Rodon. I mean, when he pitched to the Royals, it was not pretty, and then he had a hell of a game in Game 1. Garrett Cole, a little shaky in Game 2, so if it comes to it and we need him again, hopefully he'll deliver. But yeah, 8-0. They'll move on. They have another chance tonight. Game 4 will happen at Citi Field. Dodgers lead the series 2-1. The Yankees, meanwhile, they're shifting from the Empire State to the Buckeye State, where they'll be hosted by the Cleveland Guardians. The Yankees Game 3 tonight at Progressive Field. That game starts at 5:08. 2 rookie quarterbacks will take center stage when Spencer Rattler and the New Orleans Saints host Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos on Thursday Night Football. You'll hear it right here on WIBX. Broncos head coach Sean Payton is making his first trip back to New Orleans since leaving the Saints after the 2021 season. Denver is third in the AFC West at 3-3. And Tom Kim hopes to defend his crown when the Shriners Children's Open tees off from TPC Summerlin in Las Vegas. Kim won last year's tournament by 3 strokes after finishing 24 under par. The 22-year-old will be alongside Kevin Yu and Matt McCarthy for the first and second round. Ricky Fowler, Nick Taylor, and Taylor Pendrith will be another featured group. Ryan Moore, Robbie Shelton, and Chan Kim will be among the first group of players teeing off for the opening round of the tournament. It is 8:11.
That's how you're ending?
Yeah, sorry.
All right, it's 8:11. Coming up, we'll speak with Rick Lewis. We're going to get more. We're getting more on this Utica thing. Can you get her to call in? Give me just 3 minutes with her, because I'm now getting her text messages. So you got to call in. Let's just get this thing out there. There's no reason in pussyfooting around.
Well, the interesting thing is, okay, and there is a valid point that the definition, if you want to get to the definition of residence or residing, it is truly Domicile is a legal term that refers to the state or place that a person considers their permanent home.
We're talking about Katie Iello. There's a challenge to her residency. Does she really live in Utica or does she live in Herkimer? And for the purpose, it seems, of having her kids able to go to school in Herkimer, she has, I don't know, certified
she and other
that,
people have signed affidavits that she lives permanently in Herkimer.
In Herkimer.
Okay,
in order to
being
be
accused of spreading misinformation, which I'm kind of resentful of. What we know...
We're not spreading misinformation. Those are real affidavits.
Yes.
And so the question would be, does she also have a residence in Utica? And that also would be considered a residence.
If she has an address that
But the problem you're going to be is if she has kids, is she just living in Utica so that she can be a council person and not spending time with her kids?
Is she paying rent at an apartment in Utica and never lives there? Is that allowed? That's the only question we're asking. We don't know.
That'd be a residence.
And that's an argument that can be made by certain parties if they want to push the issue. I'm not trying to hide the fact or, steer it in one way or the other. You and I are just trying to fully understand this.
Yes.
And if the charter, the charter's different than
you're angry because you're being called
that I'm spreading misinformation.
Yeah. No, I think those are all real, authentic documents. And so the misinformation is that, why didn't she become a council person in Herkimer?
She has a business in Utica that she rents a space in a building that's owned by somebody else that is a coffee shop that she runs and operates and owns.
I understand that. But at the same time, if you determine she doesn't really live in Utica, are they gonna kick her off the council? My guess is the answer to that is going to be no. When she runs again, let's not forget she ran with this controversy out there in the first place and won. Right?
Yeah.
This was all out there before she was elected. The people voted her in. I got a break, and Samantha, call in. Let's talk, because I'm getting your messages. It's much better. Remember, this is not a conversation between me, you, and Andrew. This is the entire audience. There are 5 other people out there right now that want to know what's being talked about. Come on. 315-736-0186. We'll come back here. Rick Lewis coming up as well.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
I had a heart attack 27 years ago. In early March, I started having chest pain, and I knew this was not good.
I was rollerblading on the canal trail, and I hit something, and I landed on my arm. Ended up at Wynn Hospital.
I went to a regular doctor's appointment 38 weeks into my pregnancy. My blood pressure was elevated and I was 4 centimeters dilated. My doctor sent me to Wynn Hospital.
From labor and delivery to emergencies and cardiac care, Wynn Hospital has all the care you might need.
The doctor I had was great. The nurse I had was excellent. They did all the treatment right in the room. All around, it was a great experience.
All the doctors and the nurses treated me like an absolute king, and I was so glad to be at Wynn to get their absolutely first-class, fantastic treatments.
Throughout my entire stay there, through every shift change, from delivery to postpartum, everyone was amazing.
Wynn Hospital is committed to delivering exceptional care to every life we touch. We're all in for you. Hear more patient stories at mvhealthsystem.org.
Hi, everyone. If you or someone you know were diagnosed with lung cancer or mesothelioma, listen up, because you could be entitled to significant compensation. We have legal professionals standing by right now to take your call, and they'll tell you if you qualify for a cash settlement. Call 800-570-0200. That's 800-570-0200. Call now and find out how much money you could potentially get.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Have you been thinking about buying a new hot tub or spa? Now is the time. Liverpool Pool and Spa has a large selection of American-made spas and hot tubs. Enjoy year-round for both relaxation and hydrotherapy. Fast delivery and installation available, as well as local service and support long after the sale. Financing options also available for qualified buyers. Stop into the Rome location today on 1501 East Dominic Street in Rome, or visit liverpoolpoolandspa.com for more information. Don't just dream it, live it.
What the?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's wrong?
I'm sick and tired of these high energy bills every month.
First off, keep it clean. Second, let's give City Suburban a call and see what they can do for us about installing a new high-efficient heat pump system. We can discuss installation pricing and any available New York State clean heat rebates.
Take the first step towards a cleaner and more cost-effective, cleaner future. Log on to citysuburban.com for a free quote today.
Yeah, now you're talking.
I said keep it clean.
Need new tires? Nokian Tires is celebrating 90 years of legendary Hakkapeliitta winter tires with a consumer rebate. Now through October 31st. When you buy 4 select winter, all-season, and all-weather tires, you can save up to $80 by mail on a MasterCard prepaid card. Offer expires October 31st, 2024. Experience the thrill of savings on every mile at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Visit their stores and meet their team of experts, or schedule your appointment online at tallmanstire.com.
Hey, I was in the middle of trying to explain and then realized I was running out of time. Fred F. Collis and Sons, when you're thinking about your heating for the winter, the free home energy assessment will assist, and Collis will come in. It's almost like an investigative process. They'll look into the building of your home, the insulation, the heating, and then take a little tour, walk through your home. They may find a refrigerator that's drawing a lot, and you say, well, do I have to buy a new refrigerator? Well, maybe that purchase would save you a ton more. It may be costing you a lot on a monthly basis. But there are many other things that can be done. And so let's say you're a family of 4 and you make under $94,000 a year. You would be eligible to receive between $5,000 and $24,000 in upgrades as part of NYSERDA's Empower Plus program. But you won't know if you're eligible if you don't call. Call Collis today. Their home energy assessment is absolutely free. 315-86. It's not like they're like, all right, we did this, this, and this. Now you owe us. They're going to tell you, here's what you could do to save money. This is what it would cost you. So you make the call. 315-860-1301 is the number. And it is time to talk about getting that vaccine. Randall's Pharmacy in New Hartford has all the vaccinations, all of them that you might require, might need, might desire. And they're also offering this great service to companies around the area and businesses. They'll come to your business, your workplace, your corporation, whatever you have. It doesn't matter how many employees. And they will administer vaccines to your entire staff. The reason, so everybody doesn't get sick with the flu or with COVID all at the same time, and all of a sudden you can't operate your business. Simply call them, 315-732-1615. They will come to you. Insurance will cover the vaccines, and it's a great public service that they are doing for the community. Pharmacists administer the vaccines, and if you'd like to just get your vaccines, whatever they might be, head over to Randall's, and you can walk right in with no appointment and get what you need. Call today. Located on Genesee Street in the village of New Hartford, next to Cavallo's, 315-732-1615.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
One more. I have one more. Oh, you got to go something right now?
Well, I have comments.
Okay, we'll get it. One more. The official coffee of this program is Seattle's Best from Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Great coffee, great donuts, fresh every single day, made fresh every single day. It's Daylight Donuts in New Hartford, and today it's their soup, chicken, and dumplings.
Oh, yummy.
Boy, that might be a great idea for
lunch.
For lunch or dinner. Chicken and dumplings.
I'm having chili for dinner.
At Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. And the drive-thru is lightning fast. You're in, you're out, you're on your way. Avocado toast on the menu with French peasant bread from Heidelberg. Daylight Donuts, New Hartford. Or you can go to Andrew's house where his fiance is making...
Putting it in the crock pot probably as we speak.
Chili con carne. Yeah. Okay, what do you have? Comments? I have a few here as well.
Britt in Utica. What I don't understand is why she couldn't be honest with people the first time. If she was honest with everyone, then maybe it wouldn't be so big of a deal.
Well, listen, let me say, when you're running against Trump, I think it puts you in Oh, it's not about Trump.
Talking about Iello.
Iello. Boy, it's so confusing to keep track today.
I'm sure her kids didn't just start school, right? We've heard about this for literally years, and it's she went out of her way to hide it and then say, oh, it's a 50-50 split.
Well, if it is even that. But at the end of the day, people voted her in.
John and Deerfield.
Knowing this, they still voted her in. So how do you handle that?
Yeah, John and Deerfield. Sounds like Katie committed fraud either in Herkimer or Utica. If her kids go to Herkimer and she is not a resident, then she is stealing resources from the taxpayers of Herkimer. If she is a resident of Herkimer, then she is ineligible for a council position in Utica and would have to had lied on her election paperwork. If I were her, I'd keep my mouth shut and make somebody prove the fraud.
Well, because at some point she might, because I think there was a hearing on election hearing. If you remember, she was in court over this, and some believe she might have lied under oath. Now, that would be a problem, probably more so than the election issue. Off YouTube, Larry, Steven says, where does she pay her taxes? Good question. Larry, LaPola's name still on the Utica Business Park. I hear it's never coming down. Sam and Joe, where are you? And Larry, also, a common council member told me they have bigger problems in Utica than Katie Iello. Shots fired, and LaPola not even on the list. And that probably is true. There are more important things. Is she still texting you?
No, not anymore.
Come on, Samantha, call in. Anything further? That's it?
Lance and Lee insulting our commercials. Apparently, we played 2 heating company commercials back to back.
Terrible. In studio,
Lance, really? Come on.
In studio, Rick E. Lewis. Good morning, Rick. Good morning.
Sorry you've had to sit through this, Rick.
Oh no, it's exciting. You know, you hear this. Usually, there's only controversy when the person is controversial.
Right.
You know, if you know and you like the person, who cares?
Yeah, right.
You know,
this is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and it's been going on forever. At what point are we just gonna? It is what it is, and hit her on it when she runs for re-election.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. You can't change the rules just because you don't like.
I think it's going to be hard to get if they want to get rid of her. It's going to be hard to get rid of her.
Because here's the thing: for them to have the hearing, it's my understanding that the majority of the council would have to vote for that.
5 Democrats.
And they're not going to do it.
Majority of Democrats on the council. It's not going to happen. National Pasta Day is today. Did you know that?
Oh no, I didn't.
It is.
No.
You can have any type of pasta you want today, and it's a good day to do it because I don't know. Somebody said today's the day.
Well, in this community, pasta is so rare. And
that's right. No one ever eats macaroni. Okay, no budget television event. It happens
tonight, 7:00, and Bill, you're in it, and
exciting.
There's the scene. I don't know if you remember the scenes,
do.
and there you go with this flowing long hair, doing this.
I had longer hair. I had hair.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And but it's really funny because the first time that you're playing a character named Dick Rogers,
who's
radio DJ by coincidence. And the first
a bit
time,
over the top he was.
yeah. And then the original introduction is, I'm sorry, I don't really want to do this right now because I just had to shave my head for a bet I lost, and I was laughing.
Right. So this is you were creating a movie called
No Budget Television,
and everybody was a part of it, and
and
then it kind of got lost in the dust. Well, but you brought it back, and you're going to play it tonight.
Right. We originally had it in video stores. It started out; it was supposed to be a television thing. It was episode 1. Then we decided to make episode 2 and turn it into a VHS tape, and we put it in Showbiz Videos.
It was all over. People were renting it and everything.
And the thing is, it's before people actually had cameras of any sort. There was no internet, and I made a joke of there were more video stores than pizza joints at that point in time. There really were. They were everywhere. So we decided
every convenience store had video rentals.
Yeah, every place. Yeah. So when we put it out there, people actually watched it, but the people who were in it thought it was just a you're just doing that. I didn't expect this. My friend went to the video store and rented a video, and I'm in it acting like a. I go, well, I had everybody sound talent releases. Yeah, but I thought it was a college thing. Can you take me out of the picture?
No.
So you had that.
Yeah.
People wanted out.
Yeah, well, there was I think at the time, again, it was so new that people didn't really expect this was going to be a real thing. And the instant reaction was, I wouldn't have acted like that if I knew you were actually going to use it. Well,
and now, how many years later?
It's the 25th anniversary.
25th.
And I had there's a scene in there where there's little kids working in a garage shop with Frank McBride as the sleazy used car dealer.
Who's no longer with us.
Right. He's no longer with us. But these kids, I got a thing on Facebook. Hey, that's me. I'm the one with the person who's got the plan for escaping Uncle Bob's garage.
I saw the clip, and he's basically running a child labor sweatshop.
Right. And what he's doing is, if you don't have money for your down payment, we'll take your kid.
That's awesome.
And so he's got all these kids in there, but I was happy to see that a couple of the people said, hey, that's us. That's me. I'm in that.
Well, think about it. If a kid was 10 at that time.
Oh, yeah.
They were in their mid-30s.
Yeah.
So
and imagine, like today, everybody has a camera and they're used to seeing footage and stuff. There isn't much documentation when you go back before 2000.
Right.
With the exception of graduation pictures, birthdays, etc. There aren't pictures and video of people just doing anything.
Yeah,
and the only thing I have of you is acting like an idiot on this movie that's out. So
yeah, it's really cool.
It came out good. It was a lot of fun.
It'll be tonight. What time? And it's free, right?
Tonight. It's free. Well, it's better than free.
Okay.
Because here's the deal. If you go to the movie, you watch the whole movie, you just go to the box office, and they give you a manager's pass to see any movie at the Capitol for free.
How about that?
So it's better than free.
So you're being paid to watch this thing.
Well, yeah,
really?
Exactly.
Essentially, yeah.
But you have to watch the whole movie, and that includes the credits.
Okay.
Always no sneaking out early.
Always watch the credits.
You always watch the.
You might. Who knows? You might see someone that you know in this thing. That
exactly.
There was from 25 years ago.
Yeah, there was so many people that were willing to do whatever because. What do you mean you're making a movie? And they just would act and
do whatever.
And most people did a fantastic job, like they were really actors. I know. Was your Linda Murphy?
Linda Murphy was
your producer. It's so funny. The things she does all day, every day, telling people about you and the show. Okay, action. What do you mean you can't do this? You do this every day. You ask people. I need more information.
She got nervous.
Yeah, she commented on Facebook that my experience with this was a lot of fun, but I do realize I'm not cut out for acting.
Yeah. Well, she did. She was great back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay. It's tonight at Rome Capitol
Theater at 7:00.
Can I say that there is a woman out there that is? Wait till you hear this one. You have actually gotten somebody, but we won't talk about that. But I do want to talk about the person who called me, and she is angry because she thinks it is appalling that we would bring. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Appalling that we would bring Jimmy Fallon up here.
Oh my gosh!
When he is supporting, he's just doing a talk show on Fox. When he is supporting such a deviant as Donald Trump.
Oh.
How dare you? How dare you? That's exactly. So we should cancel the show. How dare you? Yes, terrible.
Wow.
So there are people all angry about it. And oh, by the way, you had heard, can I talk about what you heard?
Yeah.
You were told that this was going to be a huge Trump rally that was going on
in December.
And I'm trying to say this show's December 6th.
Yeah.
If we're rallying for Trump, we're a little bit late, like a month.
Well,
right?
There was a little bit of activity after the last election.
There certainly was.
This is planning in advance.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, people got to just lighten up here.
Oh, I know.
God almighty, let it go.
I know. And in fact, one of the things I did from the No Budget Television, there was a congressman in there, Buddy Electra, who was accused of it was the Monica Lewinsky period. So I posted that.
That and Gary Hart had just happened.
Yeah, and I posted it on Facebook with a line. Before you make a comment about this being a political, it's not. It's from something that was made 25 years ago.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with politics today.
At all.
But still, I think people...
There'll be somebody that'll...
Oh, yeah.
You can't... people are just so up in arms today over their candidate or hating the other candidate that... I don't know. You've got people. I know people who have lost friendships.
Well, it's worse than sports.
There's a story of a man and woman who were married, and they are now divorced over Trump.
Oh my God!
How does this happen?
How dare you?
Yeah,
that's what she said.
There she is. How dare you? I want a divorce.
You're voting for that SOB. I'm out of here.
I am gone. All right, we got to let it go. We are bringing Jimmy Fallon up on December 6th. At the Rome Capitol. Tickets are still available. Go to romecapital.com and buy your tickets. I think $45. There are a lot of good $45 seats still available. And it goes to $65. I don't know how many of the prime seats are left, but there are great seats available. The show is part of our 99th anniversary. Next year, this station will be 100 years old.
Wow.
That's pretty wild.
What are you going to do for 100?
I don't even know.
Don't you? Oh, you just wait and see.
So if we're doing this for 99, So Jimmy Fallon, who's on our station every day, Monday through Friday from noon until 3, and then his talk show on Fox News Channel is Saturday nights. Check it out. It's a great show. He is a phenomenal comedian. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, whatever you are, you will love his show. And it's coming up on the 6th of December. Get your tickets now at romecapital.com.
It's fall, and that means truck season at Steep Pawnee Chevrolet. Now's the perfect time to upgrade your ride. Lease the 2025 Chevrolet Trailblazer LS for just $336 a month for 3 years with 10,000 miles per year. Or step up to the all-new and redesigned 2025 Equinox LT with all-wheel drive. Lease for $439 a month with 10,000 miles per year. Looking to buy? We've got an unbeatable deal on the 2024 Silverado Crew Cab LT 4-wheel drive. Get a massive $5,250 rebate and 0% financing. Head to Steep Pawnee Chevy on Route 28 in Herkimer or online at steeppawneechevy.com. These deals end October 31st. Steep Pawnee Chevrolet, where it's always easy to do business. Together, let's drive. Customers must qualify with top-tier credit through GM Financial. Lease offer requires a current lease and household, and finance offers require a 2010 or newer Chevrolet trade-in. 0% financing for 36 months. All taxes, fees, $1,000 down, and final payment due on delivery. Must take delivery by October 31st. See salesperson for details.
Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Fit Body Boot Camp. It's October. That means it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And if you know me, I love to give back to our community. Are you a local business owner? If so, my team and I would love to challenge you to burpees for boobies. All you have to do is contact us for more information, and we can do burpees together. This year, we are donating every single penny to Making Strides of Utica. Want to nominate your friends to a challenge? Simply donate to nominate and help us reach our goal. Together, we can make a difference in the fight against breast cancer.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Shop the My Carl's floor sample clearance at My Carl's. Recliners from $249, bedrooms from $499, mattresses from just $99. My Carl's, New Hartford Shopping Center.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
Everyone's talking about the breakthrough of weight loss drugs. With Hers, you can access doctor-trusted weight loss plans that are tailored to you 100% online. Like compounded GLP-1 weekly injections with the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy, all for as low as $199 a month with a 12-month plan paid up front. No hidden fees and no membership fees. Get started at forhers.com/afford today. That's forhers.com/afford.
This station is brought to you by GPO and their Shred Week, October 19th to 25th at all GPO locations. There will be tailgating, snacks, and free secure paper shredding. Find more info at gpofcu.com.
Shop the My Carl's floor sample clearance at My Carl's. Recliners from $249, bedrooms from $499, mattresses from just $99. My Carl's, New Hartford Shopping Center.
Keeler in the Morning invites you to connect with us through telephonic communication at 315-736-0186 or use the Call Us button on the WIBX 950 app. For additional contact methodologies, please refer to WIBX950.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
And portions of the program brought to you by New York Sash. Their bath sale is underway. 20% off. Get your dream bathroom for less, and you get it in just a day or two. A new look in just a couple of days. No mess and no worries. Fully customizable with colors and patterns, accessories. Never molds or mildew. Quality and affordable. Accessibility products as well. And it's a fraction of the cost bringing a contractor in and doing the bathroom all over. It is a complete transformation of your bathroom, and you get 20% off right now at New York Sash and NewYorkSash.com. Anything you want to add to that?
It's a great product, great for your home's value, and that lifetime warranty is oh so great.
Rick E. Lewis in here this morning. Rick, good morning.
Good morning.
You're just going to hang, right?
Yeah, I'll just be hanging out.
Okay.
Hanging out. Getting ready for the big night.
Have you seen that Jerry Jones?
Oh.
Do you have? We'll do the picks in a second, Davey. But this is my introduction to football. Have you seen that Jerry Jones went off on a radio show?
It was unacceptable. It was really embarrassing.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what was he talking about?
Well, they got beat pretty badly, and they're playing pretty poorly.
They're playing poorly, and Jerry Jones is not only the owner, but he's the general manager, and he's now the spokesperson for the team and has been.
And
he's got a regular appearance on a morning radio show every Tuesday morning
in Dallas.
And the host made the mistake of asking him a question about his job as GM and basically threatened to fire the guy.
Fire the
radio
guy.
host.
How does he fire the radio? Does he own the radio station?
Well, maybe the indication is I don't know that he owns the station.
He may work for the Cowboys.
I'm not going to work. I'm not going to come on your show anymore. I'll find somebody else to do the show.
I'm not going to answer questions to people who aren't real fans and people who don't know what they're talking about. Is what he's saying. Connotation being that the hosts of the show weren't real fans and didn't have any idea what they were talking about. Among those taking issue with this, however, Shannon Sharp on First Take. Sharp didn't hold back, voicing his hate and detest over someone in power, putting someone beneath them in fear of their job, is what he said. Shannon Sharp.
Wow.
Listen, it's a wonder they're not trying. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he's not trying to hire Belichick. And Belichick probably does not want to go there.
Now, the most entertaining thing is when the Cowboys lose, which I'm never opposed to seeing. Stephen A. Smith the next morning on First Take on ESPN comes in with his cowboy hat and his blue suit and basically mocks Cowboys fans everywhere. But that's been the biggest criticism. Why didn't you hire Bill Belichick?
Yeah.
Why didn't you get a good running back? There's a lot of unanswered questions, and that's kind of what this radio host was getting at with Jerry Jones, but he doesn't want to hear that. You being the GM, what does he just want? Sunshine and rainbows and positive questions all the time. He just doesn't want it.
Well, he's above that. Right. And a lot of people are criticizing him over that, but where's that going to go? Yeah. Same place Katie Iello's going. Right back to work. Back to work.
It's amazing that, without making this a comment against the Cowboys, but their immense popularity versus their actual success.
Oh,
they do have a history. They have a history.
Their value, but you got to look at the history of Jerry Jones, and there's no denying it, and it's pretty public what his persona is, and that's somebody who wants to be the star, the center of attention, and get all the credit for success. Firing a successful coach in Jimmy Johnson way back when, because Jerry's claimed, well, any coach could have won with that team. But where has he been since? But it's one of the most valuable sports franchises in America.
They got the cheerleaders. They got the star on the side of the helmet.
They have not only the cheerleaders, but they have a reality show along with it that's going on. Okay, I think that Biden has actually done something that we can all agree he probably didn't do, but
he was directed
it's on his watch that we're all going to be very thankful for. And even haters of Biden and what have you will be like, this is good. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Yeah, what has he done?
I don't know that he necessarily did it, but you can come in and sit if you want, Frank. The FTC is finalizing the rule to make canceling a subscription easier.
Oh, yeah.
This is the worst thing in the... I am subscribed currently to, like, there's one I cannot get out of, and it's the Albany Times-Union. I signed up for that when it was like $1 a month.
Yeah.
And now I'm paying $25 a month. And I really don't.
What?
I really don't read the.
You got to go through it at the beginning of every year, or even twice a year. You have to go through all your subscriptions.
Listen to me. You don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I'm trying to cancel it.
Okay.
And it won't cancel. It just keeps charging me.
Well, my subscription nightmare was with Apple. I had Apple TV, a subscription. Now I wanted to cancel, and they said, "Okay,
Apple
no
TV
problem."
Plus, you have.
And I said, "Okay, I want to get rid of it." And they said, "Okay,
tighten that thing
just sign in with your Apple device." I don't have an Apple device. Okay, fill this, do this. We'll contact you within the next 3 weeks to let you know. They never called. I did this 2 or 3 times.
It's all a scam.
You know what I had to do? I went to the bank and I said, please do not allow any charges from Apple on my card. And they said, okay, we'll do it next billing cycle. Now I get notes from Apple every month. Hi.
We can't process your payment.
You can't process your payment.
Move down that way. Move down.
It's like
Frank, you got to move to your right. Keep going. You want to be right on his lap almost. Keep going. Keep going.
Hey, this ain't that kind of radio show.
Little more.
Is this?
I got you.
Is this Chippendales here? You want to
I know. Holy cow!
Now we got you.
No, it's not. We got a comment from Lance.
Can I finish this? This is going to. So the rule is going to be.
What's the rule?
You have to make it as easy to cancel as it is to subscribe.
Yes.
It should be the way it is, period.
Yeah. Businesses were fighting that.
Well, here's what you got. It's like, I want to cancel. It's like, well,
are you sure? We'll wait for a representative.
Sure? How about we'll give you 3 months for just $30, and then you get another one. It's like you're going through. It's like climbing a mountain that you don't want to climb.
Some of them you have to wait until the month before it renews.
Correct.
In an effort to you would forget.
You finally just give up, and you end up paying it because you don't want to take the time.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good move. I hope they finalize it and something good happens.
Yeah.
Is this your first time, Frank? In this, Frank Cristiano. Tony's in Washington Mills. First of all, talk about your buffet because I had to do that coming up in a second.
I just want to say right off the bat, this is impressive. This is
nice
a very nice look in here. It's clean, sleek, modern, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay,
you could cook in here.
You could. You could. It's very pristine.
pristine.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll turn it into a blank hole in just a couple of months.
Just a couple of months, yeah. Animal House.
Well, now that the engineers are all gone, we're taking that no food or drink sign off the studio door.
It's time to eat in here. Talk about the buffet.
Yeah, so I bought out a Chinese buffet a few months ago.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
That's how that
all the equipment, everything. I took everything out of it.
That's why you have pizza.
Nice.
You have pizza, greens, and fortune cookies.
And that's right. Sesame chicken. No, so I bought them out with the idea of this. I've always wanted to try it. I've always wanted to do it. So I said, I got to take a shot. I wanted to create an Italian buffet. But not just a once a month thing, not just a Sunday brunch buffet. I wanted to create an everyday
5 days
Italian buffet. Yeah.
Davey loves it, by the way.
Yeah. No, it works. It's a good product.
You can have it for lunch. It's lunch. It's 11 to 3.
11 to 3, but I have hired somebody now. We are going to expand that to dinner pretty soon. It might be in a couple-week period, and then I'll be 11 till like 8:30. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So you can come in, and there's a hot table, cold table. We put out 16 different items for the hot table. We have a lot of different variety items for the cold table, especially desserts too.
You're a family of 5, a 4, whatever. You've got one kid going to this practice, another one going to cheerleading. You got soccer. Trying to get everybody to eat. I mean, this is just you're in. You could eat there or take it.
You can eat. You could take it out. Right now we're 11 to 3, like I said, Monday through Friday. We'll be hopefully 11 to about 8:30 Monday through Friday coming up. But just it's something different. The standard staples are in there, and then we rotate some different items. It's all hot. It's all ready. Get in, get out. Like you said, if you don't have much time and you want to, get a quick dinner, that's the way to do it. So this is my experimental run. I think we're going to be successful. This is a long-term plan. I'm going to let it run for about a year and a half just to see where it lands.
It is 11 to 3 right now. Tony's in Washington Mills. And you also would deliver to workplaces.
Yeah.
315-737-9172. All right. You have comments.
Great deal. So Lance and Lee, sorry for pointing that out. Here's a more appropriate comment. He was talking about that.
Good.
Moving on. After watching the Utica Common Council meeting last night, Samantha should be embarrassed. Maybe that's why she won't call in, constantly interrupting either Garamone, Iello, or the department heads, to her not having the decency to look at the Utica residents as they were speaking during the public comment session. She, as well as Williamson, should be embarrassed for their actions. He wouldn't look at them either. And since Mr. Keeler didn't answer my question about who he's doing media for, my guess would be Griffo, of course, Miller, and Buttonshaw. Those guesses are based on listening to his statements on the show.
Well, that's bullcrap. There was no way you'd be able to tell by statements on the show. So, Lance, I would contest that. However, I am doing work for Griffo, Brian Miller, and a small amount of things that Marianne Buttonshaw hired me to do.
And then
doing it.
Don't you do work for people that actually pay you?
That's exactly right.
Right. I would assume, right?
Period.
If they pay you, you're going to do work for them.
I'm doing work.
Yeah.
It's very simple. It's a pretty easy concept.
I just walked in and I figured this out now.
Yes.
Yep.
And Frank and I have known each other for a long time. There was a time when radio really paid well, and I could just work on radio all day long. Those days do not exist anymore.
Right.
So, Lance, I'm paying the bills.
Deeds in New Hartford. Screw the Cowboys. Screw their fans. Screw their management. They are not America's team. Who the hell even ever said that? Bag of Bones Jones. It's like a membership to the country
club. They are America's team. There's no more valuable football franchise than Dallas.
Yeah, I think sports franchise, actually.
Yeah.
They're just...
Would you agree with that? I hate them.
I'm not a Dallas Cowboy fan. Obviously, you can see by the garb that I'm wearing right now. But bottom line,
Washington,
they're very valuable. Their marketability is huge.
Yeah.
But there are several teams that are getting closer and closer. Just you can't even realize the costs or the wealth of teams right now. What they're worth
look
to buy them.
Look at what the Patriots have accomplished in the last 10 years. Yep. And that just shows you what winning can do in a franchise quarterback.
And they should, keeping their status as high as it is, the Cowboys have to start winning.
Yeah.
Not every year.
Watching the Bills-Jets the other night.
They've been losing since the 90s.
Swear that you clearly realize when you're watching those two play that the Bills are a small market just by all the craps. Enough about Aaron Rodgers and what he's accomplished. Enough of it, please.
Yeah, but they've got to build him up.
I guess they do.
He still is an appeal to NFL fans.
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
That Hail Mary pass
crazy
was incredible.
Right.
I'm glad he's not with us anymore.
You need me to break now?
Yeah, please.
Davey, go ahead. Wanted to say something. I'm going to ignore you.
So the Bills are owned by the Pagulas, who we both know.
Who also own the Sabres.
Yes, but there's a report going out last night that I saw that 25% of their ownership is now going to be owned by Tracy McGrady, a former NBA player, and Vince Carter.
Okay. So they're taking on some investors?
Yes.
Okay.
Tom Brady just got a piece of the Raiders.
And the Chargers, a billionaire just invested and took 27% of the Chargers. So, yeah. Got to be worth money.
And what's his name, who quarterback for the Chiefs, owns
part of the Royals.
Part of the Royals.
Really?
So,
yeah,
these are all investments.
It's just like the TV stations they own. I own CBS, and I also own the Sci-Fi Network.
Or
and
Disney owns ESPN and ABC.
How about the latest thing in TV that just happened locally where CW used to always be a KTV's station, and then all of a sudden Nexstar, which owns CW, said, we're taking it over, we're taking that network back, and now Nexstar, Fox, has CW, local Fox, and KTV has started this digital 2 or whatever they call it.
I'm interested to see where that goes.
Yeah,
a
lot of local programming on this. All right, quick break. We'll come right back. Frank is in from Tony's in Washington Mills. Rick E. Lewis talking about Jimmy Fallon coming back to the Rome Capitol, and the people complaining, saying we should cancel the show because he supports Trump. Honest to God. And we got that some of the times. I had one woman say to me,
such a joke,
I will not go to see that. So you remember this one specifically, because the husband went to see the show, but the wife wouldn't do it. I will not. It's Fox News, disgusting. I will not go. I mean, that's what we're dealing with.
Yep.
As we celebrate our 99th birthday. John Decker coming right up. Stand by at WIBX.
I had a heart attack 27 years ago. In early March, I started having chest pain, and I knew this was not good.
I was rollerblading on the canal trail, and I hit something, and I landed on my arm. Ended up at Wynn Hospital.
I went to a regular doctor's appointment 38 weeks into my pregnancy. My blood pressure was elevated and I was 4 centimeters dilated. My doctor sent me to Wynn Hospital.
From labor and delivery to emergencies and cardiac care, Wynn Hospital has all the care you might need.
The doctor I had was great. The nurse I had was excellent. They did all the treatment right in the room. All around, it was a great experience.
All the doctors and the nurses treated me like an absolute king, and I was so glad to be at Wynn to get their absolutely first-class, fantastic treatments.
Throughout my entire stay there, through every shift change, from delivery to postpartum, everyone was amazing.
Wynn Hospital is committed to delivering exceptional care to every life we touch. We're all in for you. Hear more patient stories at mvhealthsystem.org.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Do you dread turning your heat up or paying your utility bill? I'm Jen, and my team at Standard Heating, Cooling, and Insulating can help. Through the Empower New York program, we've helped thousands of people qualify for completely free insulation and heating upgrades, bringing energy savings to over 6,500 homes in our area. If you qualify for HEAP or SNAP, you're halfway there already. We can help reduce your energy bills while making your home more comfortable, all for free. Call us today at 315-859-6292. We promise to save you money.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right.
We have to do quick picks.
NFL pick 'em.
At least for tonight.
Quickly, for tonight's game, what do we have?
All right, so Broncos Saints. Bill, what are you going with?
I'm going to go with the Broncos.
As am I. Davey, who you going with, Broncos or Saints?
Broncos, and Larry and Jake both going with the Saints.
Okay. All right, there you go.
And then we'll get the rest of the picks tomorrow.
Rest of them tomorrow. John Decker is the chief White House correspondent with Gray TV. He's in the room when a lot of this stuff is going on. Gets often asking the most relevant questions. I think that's, John, one of the things you're best at, which is why all the other networks pick up the answer to his question. Here's John Decker. Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Bill. Good to be with you. We have less than 3 weeks to go until Election Day, and it is one of the most interesting elections I've ever covered in the sense that it is so close. With just less than 3 weeks to go. It's a toss-up. It's a jump ball, whatever phrase you want to use, and that's unusual. And it's unusual to have energy on both sides, which is what we've seen over the course of the last few months.
Yeah, that energy is like dangerous at times. I swear to God, somebody's going to get a fork at Thanksgiving dinner, a fork in the eye or something. You have families that are split on this, workplaces saying nobody talk politics. It's really just, you're right, it's heated. There's a lot of enthusiasm. What about Brett Baer's interview with Kamala Harris? Your thoughts on that?
Well, this is one of those things where it's so subjective. It's like watching a debate, who won, who lost, that type of thing. To me, I don't look at these events in a micro sense. I look at them in a macro sense. And what I mean by that is, does it move the needle? Does it change anything? And the answer to that is no.
I agree.
And I think that's the bottom line there. So, I understand why people view that interview in different ways. But the whole goal there for Kamala Harris was not to appeal to those people that typically watch Sean Hannity. She's not going to get those people. It's to go for the people that are like Dick Cheney, are like Mike Pence, Republicans, establishment Republicans that are not voting for Donald Trump and trying to convince them to vote for her if they haven't already done so in early voting on November the 5th.
So I was yelled at by a couple of people this morning when I said, Brett Baer did a tremendous job. I thought he was tough, and he needed to be. It was certainly not unfair. He's a great journalist. But I think she did what she had to do. How could you say that? She was terrible. Listen, what she had to do is not blow up anything and show that she could do the interview. Now, whether she answered questions or not, and again, depending on which side of the aisle you're on, you see it a little bit differently. But she didn't blow anything up.
No, it's going into the belly of the beast, so to speak, and taking those tough questions. I'd love to see Donald Trump, go on Rachel Maddow, the mirror image of Fox News and do an interview. That's likely not going to happen. He backed out of the 60 Minutes interview as well. So it's Harris that's stepping up, and I think that we mentioned that people who would identify themselves as Republicans, who like Dick Cheney, like Mike Pence, are not going to vote for Donald Trump. Let's not forget, she's also appealing to the 4% of the electorate who describe themselves as undecided.
Crazy.
So maybe she's trying to say to those undecided voters, look, I can go toe-to-toe with Donald Trump. I did that in the debate. I can walk into the belly of the beast and go on Fox News. Not a problem. And so, these are small tests that people have to pass. And you can make that argument whether or not the vice president is passing those tests.
Well,
but she's actually putting herself forward for that.
And it's what they have to do. 20 days left. It's unbelievable. John, we are out of time as always. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a great week.
Thank you so much.
We'll do it next week.
You too.
Gotta go. News is next.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
A not-so-rave review. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. From Trump running mate J.D. Vance to Vice President Harris's interview on Fox.
25 minutes of a person who couldn't answer a direct question. How many illegal immigrants have come in? She didn't answer that question.
Vance just told Fox.
What is it in the mind of this person that can't just acknowledge that she has been in power for 3.5 years and bears some responsibility as the sitting vice president for the condition that the country is in?
Now, he reacted specifically to Brett Baer asking Harris this.
Your campaign slogan is a new way forward, and it's time to turn the page. You've been vice president for 3.5 years, so what are you turning the page from?
From the last decade in which we have been burdened with the kind of rhetoric coming from Donald Trump that has been designed and implemented to divide our country.
The vice president also said,
I'm offering a plan to deal with affordable housing. I'm offering a plan to deal with what we need to do to strengthen small businesses, which are the backbone of America's economy.
Former President Trump had a town hall on Univision saying the Biden administration lost control of the border and the economy.
What they've done to this country is incredible in so many different ways.
A Fox News poll gives the former president a 2-point lead. A month ago, Vice President Harris led Trump by 2. President Biden has just taken off for Germany.
Aside from the U.S., Germany has been Ukraine's biggest partner in terms of helping them